Chen drove the Lafa and slowly drove through the intersection under the envious gazes of the onlookers. Chen Yinner sat quietly in the passenger seat. She originally wanted to wait for Chen to take the initiative to speak, but unexpectedly, Chen was immersed in Rafa's driving experience and had no time to talk to her. Mr. Zhang, I see that you are so young, you are probably as old as me. Seeing that they were only 2 streets away from the Nanchang Art Institute, Chen Yinner didn't care about being reserved at this time. She seized the opportunity for the two of them to be alone and took the initiative to chat. Chen turned his head and glanced at Chen Yinner's proud capital, and said with a pun, "Are you comparing the top or the bottom? What's above and below?" Chen Yinner looked confused, looked down at Chen's gaze, and reacted instantly. His face instantly turned crimson, and the atmosphere in the car relaxed a lot. Women are better than the ones above and men are better than the ones below. There is no comparison between the two. Mr. Zhang, you are so successful at a young age. You don't know what industry you are engaged in. After calming down, Chen Yangyu asked. Women talk about appearance and men talk about career. Chen Yinner knows this well and deliberately asks some questions about men. Chen couldn't help but recall his previous life and was silent for a long time. After a minute, Chen suddenly said, "Actually, I am a fortune teller. What I am best at is telling fortunes by touching bones." Chen Yinner looked slightly embarrassed. Can a fortune teller easily spend more than 70 million to buy a luxury car? Although she didn't believe it, Chen Yinner still reached out her slender hand in front of Chen very cooperatively, asking Mr. Zhang to do the math for me. Chen held Chen Yinner's white and tender hand seriously. Although Chen Yinner's hand looked very slender, holding it in his hand gave Chen the feeling of holding a soft nephrite jade. In short, it is 2 words. Comfortable. Well, Mr. Zhang, is this just fortune telling by touching bones? At this time, Chen Yinner lowered her head deeply. Her face was so red that it was almost dripping with water, and her voice was worse than the buzz of a mosquito. Although Chen Yinner was born in a mixed-race art school, she has always kept herself clean and rarely talks to men on weekdays. There was no way he could resist Chen being like this. Okay. Chen chuckled lightly. How can fortune telling by touching bones be like me? It's like a plate of walnuts. Mr. Zhang, what did you figure out? Chen Yinner couldn't help asking when she saw Chen's serious look. If I calculated correctly, you should be a student at the School of Art. Chen estimated Chen Yinner's identity based on the information given by Career Eye. Is there anything else? Chen Yinner asked again. Don't worry about this, they are on their way to Nanchang Art Institute now. You are now lurking in the abyss. You have all your talents but nowhere to put them to use. You are like a 1,000-mile horse waiting for Bull to discover you. Chen said again. Workplace Eyes commented that Chen Yinner has extremely solid acting skills, but lacks opportunities to stand out, which is exactly what Chen meant. Mr. Zhang, what else have you done? Chen Yinner's eyes lit up. Chen was talking about her. Chen Yinner has good looks and excellent grades in college, but because she has no ambition for wealth, she has never received good medicine. The reason why she went to the car show was to find a sponsor. Isn't this financial backer what Chen calls a 1,000-mile horse? At this moment, Chen Yinner began to slowly believe that Chen said that his profession was a fortune teller. She has never revealed her identity from beginning to end. If Chen was not a fortune teller, how could he be so accurate? Your future fortune is very good. It won't be long before you emerge and become a hot star, Chen continued. This sentence was coined by Chen himself. After he saw Chen Yinner's potential, he decided to recruit her. With Chen's terrifying financial resources, even a pig can be transformed into a big star with money. Not to mention Chen Yinner, who has both beauty and strength. Chen simply said it, but when the words reached Chen Yinner's ears, they didn't mean the same thing. Is it possible that Mr. Chen is hinting that he wants to become my sponsor? Want to pay me to support me? Otherwise, how could he be so sure that my future would be good? Chen Yinner fell into deep thought, constantly wondering what Chen meant. Chen looked at Chen Yinner without saying a word, pretending to be mysterious and said, Actually, I have figured out a secret, and only you know this secret. Chen Yinner was stunned at first, and then said with a look of disbelief, Since Mr. Chen said that I am the only one who knows this secret, how can you figure it out? Tell me and let me hear it. You're still a virgin, Chen said slowly. Forehead. The corner of Chen Yiner's mouth twitched, and she hesitated for a long time before asking, "Can you even count as a doctor?" At that time, Yiner finally believed that Chen was a fortune teller. Chen really got it right. In this open society, if you want to find a clean girl, you can only go to kindergarten. As for art schools, where the social circle is even more chaotic, needless to say, the whole school probably won't be able to find a virgin. As the school beauty, Chen Yiner is constantly involved in scandals, and Chen is the first person to see that she is a virgin. While the two were chatting and laughing, Chen drove to the street where Nanchung Art Institute is located. As the place with the most beautiful girls in the entire urban area, Nanchung Art School attracts many wealthy people. BMWs and Mercedes-Benz can be seen everywhere on both sides of the street, and even high-end supercars such as Lamborghini and Ferrari can be seen. These different models all have the same feature, that is, green tea, Prince, Pulse, and red sets of various drinks are placed on the roof. Different drinks represent different prices. It is obvious that these car owners come here with the purpose of hunting for sex. Mr. Zhang, just put me at the entrance of the college. Chen Yiner pointed to a place with the most students and said. No problem. Chen naturally knew what Chen Yiner had in mind and agreed directly. Who wouldn't want to save face in their lifetime? Since Chen Yiner wants to be the center of attention, Chen will simply satisfy her. When Chen parked his car at the entrance of the college, the dazzling car instantly attracted all the students around him. Damn, I didn't expect there to be a loafa in our school. Quickly, while there are few people around, take a photo for me first, and then I'll take it for you. The owner of the car is a man, so don't rob it from me. In just a short moment, Rafa was surrounded. Under the attention of all the students, Chen Yiner got out of the car slowly like a noble swan. Mr. Zhang, this is my prestige. Let's make an appointment again when we have time. Chen Yiner leaned over the car window and opened the prestige QR code. Okay, see you another day. Chen added Chen Yiner's prestige, then stepped on the accelerator and left gracefully. Chen, call me. Chen Yiner waved her hand. Her voice was not loud, but it could be heard by the surrounding students. After the sports car disappeared, everyone's attention turned to Chen Yuyang. Hey, isn't this our school beauty Chen Yiner? It's good to have money. You can have sex with the school beauties at will. Amid the envious voices of the surrounding students, two very coquettish female students wearing navel-bearing tops and hip-covering skirts with black stockings walked up to Chen Yiner. The two of them could barely be considered pretty, but as soon as they stood in front of Chen Yiner, they instantly turned into green leaves. These two people are Chen Yiner's roommates, Zhang Yan and Li Chuhong. 3 years ago, the two were hired by two wealthy men in the first week of school, and Zhang Yan even had 2 abortions. Because of this, the two of them often mocked the clean and self-sufficient Chen Yiner in the dormitory. Yiner? Who is that person? He actually drives a loafa, and his net worth is at least several hundred million. Zhang Yan and Li Chuhong said sourly, with envy and hatred in their hearts. Chen Yiner, who was often ridiculed by him, now found a prince charming. Look at yourself again. You are looking for bad old men with a little bit of money, and sometimes you are forced to call daddy. It's really annoying to compare people to each other. I'm just an ordinary friend, Chen Yiner said with a slight smile, emphasizing the word friend. TCH. Who can believe it? I called him by his first name and we were just friends. Zhang Yan looked unbelieving. This is Nanchung Art Institute, where only money and body exist, the most essential transactions. Yiner, since you said that Zhang Chen and you were ordinary friends, then give me his contact information, Li Chuhong said in a negotiating tone. Can you please pull me down? You can't handle one of them, and you still want to step on 2 boats? Zhang Yan rolled her eyes and said to Chen Yiner in an almost flattering tone, Yiner, give me your contact information. I'm in good health. I will never treat you badly after the 2 of you succeed. Chen Yiner looked at her 2 roommates with a wary look on her face, holding her phone tightly, like a child who was afraid of having her toys stolen. Forget it. Zhang Chen doesn't like adding strangers as friends. Let's talk about it when we have the chance to meet in the future. Chen Yiner declined politely, making up her mind secretly. Zhang Chen is young, rich, handsome, and a perfect male god. This kind of person will definitely be sought after by women, so he must seize the opportunity, and at the worst, he must occupy a place beside him. After a day of shopping at the auto show, he sent Chen Yin'er back to school. It was already 8 o'clock in the evening. Zhang Chen looked at the time and prepared to go home and rest. On the way home, Zhang Chen saw a brightly lit street with flashing neon lights. Hanei Bar Street is the place that best represents Nanchang nightlife. People who come here include rich and young people looking for passion, as well as urban white-collar workers who want to vent their work pressure. This is a paradise for young people. Brother, sister, I drank too much, can you take me home? Brother, take me out for a spin, I promise to make you comfortable. As soon as Zhang Chen drove into the bar street, he attracted a group of beauties to watch. There were even a lot of bold people who came forward to strike up a conversation, pulled off their collars deeply, and kept rubbing against the car window, showing off their assets to Zhang Chen. But how could Zhang Chen fall in love with the charming roadside goods? He just blew his horn to signal him to leave. What are you doing? If the car paint is rubbed off, even if you sleep in vain for a year, it won't be enough to compensate you. Just as Zhang Chen continued walking less than 100 meters, he noticed a short-haired girl wearing a white sweater and tight jeans waving to him. Regardless of her temperament and appearance, this girl doesn't even want to compare with Chen Yin'er. Beauty, are you okay? Zhang Chen slowly stopped the car and lowered the window. This is the first time I've seen a real Lafa car. Can you let me get in and take a ride? The girl tilted her head slightly, curved the corners of her mouth, revealing 2 white little tiger teeth, and her smile was as beautiful as a mobile phone wallpaper. The beauty has already spoken, but I dare not obey, Zhang Chen joked and then asked the girl to get in the car. The bar girls around who were still looking for opportunities shook their heads in disappointment and left. Let me meet you, my name is Zhang Shui. Zhang Shui got into the car and extended her hand to Zhang Chen cheerfully. What a coincidence, my name is Zhang Chen, and we were the same family 500 years ago. Zhang Chen felt that Zhang Shui's name sounded very familiar, but he couldn't remember it for a while, so he had no choice but to put the problem behind him for the time being. How much did you pay for this car? I heard others say that it is extremely difficult to qualify for this car, and even if you have money, you may not be able to buy it. Zhang Shui looked around at the interior of Lafa and asked casually. More than 30 million, I just happened to meet someone who wanted to change hands, so I bought it, Zhang Chen answered bluntly. Bought it for more than 30 million yuan? You are a rich man? Zhang Shui glanced at Zhang Chen in surprise. She didn't expect that the young man in front of her was so rich. There are not many rich first-generation people in Nan'e City who can spend 32 million to buy a car, let alone the rich second generation. It's just to satisfy personal preferences. Making money is just for enjoyment. Zhang Chen waved his hand and replied humbly. By the way, I still have some friends in the bar. Do you want to go in and finish playing together? Zhang Shui invited. Anyway, it's fine at night. It's okay to go in and play for a while. Zhang Chen looked at the time, agreed, and turned the car directly into the bar. Sir, please come this way. After the bar security guard saw Rafa, he quickly saw the "No Parking" warning sign on the parking space closest to the door and put it aside. Generally, large-scale entertainment venues will choose to leave eye-catching parking spaces for some luxury cars to park. Firstly, it is convenient for supervision, and secondly, it can enhance the appearance. If Zhang Chen is driving a Wuling Hongguang today, I'm sorry, please take the back door. The parking space where Zhang Chen parked was the first one at the entrance. The 4 parking spaces behind him were all empty, which looked very eye-catching. There has never been a car parked in this parking space. Even my 458 is not allowed to park, but you are still the first, Zhang Shui said with envy. Hearing this, Zhang Chen couldn't help but turned his head and glanced at Zhang Shui in surprise. Ferrari 458, I didn't expect it to be a rich second generation. Zhang Chen walked into the bar, and wild DJs rushed over from all directions. Everyone was intoxicated and twisted their bodies in oblivion. The whole bar smells of exciting hormones. My friends are all in the VIP room on the 2nd floor, let's go up first, Zhang Shui said loudly, leaning against Zhang Chen's ears, against the loud DJ. In order to prevent being separated from Zhang Chen, Zhang Shui simply took Zhang Chen's hand. Walking up to the 2nd floor, Zhang Shui walked to a private room with room number 666 and pushed the door open. The private room was much cleaner than the hall. Amid the slightly deafening sound of the DJ, 8 rich second-generation people in luxurious clothes gathered together and played a guessing game. Everyone, stop for a moment, I have brought you a new friend. Zhang Shui turned off the sound and clapped her hands, attracting the attention of all the rich second generations. I am Sao. When these rich second generations saw Zhang Chen's appearance, they cursed. After Zhang Chen saw these rich second generations, he couldn't help but be stunned, and then smiled lightly. Perhaps it was because Nanchang was too small and the fate was so wonderful that they had already met Zhang Chen at the auto show during the day. Why, this is the friend I brought here. Is it possible that you have any objections? Zhang Shui made a cold look, glared at the 8 rich second-generation people, and continued. I'm warning you, Zhang Chen is richer than you, he even has a car. After Zhang Shui said this, she couldn't help but raise her head arrogantly, as if she was talking about herself. Sister Shui, do you remember that I just told you that there was a rich man who spent 77 million to buy 2 luxury cars at the Hanggu Auto Show today? Said a rich second generation who didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I remember, but I don't think that person is from Nanchang City. We in Nanchang City don't have such a prodigal rich second generation. Zhang Shui replied without knowing why. As a girl, Zhang Shui is not very interested in cars. Her only Ferrari 458 was a coming-of-age gift from her father. When she learned that someone spent 77 million to buy a car at the Hanggu Auto Show today, her first reaction was shock, and her second reaction was to call her a prodigal. 77 million to buy clothes and bags, it is not proud. That, Sister Shui, the Shenhao I'm talking about is brother Zhang. The second-generation rich man did not expect that Zhang Shui would call Zhang Chen a prodigal. He explained awkwardly, in addition to this Lafa worth 32 million, brother Zhang also bought another car worth 5 million limited edition Rolls-Royce. What? Zhang Shui looked shocked, slowly turned her head to look at Zhang Chen, and asked in disbelief. Zhang Chen, are they telling the truth? Zhang Shui just saw that Zhang Chen drove a luxury car and was handsome, so she planned to make friends with him. But unexpectedly, he pulled it casually and pulled a billionaire. The key is, she just seemed to be saying that Zhang Chen was a prodigal. Well, I am the prodigal rich second generation you call me. Zhang Chen smiled and nodded slightly. After confirming Zhang Chen's identity, red clouds instantly appeared on Zhang Shui's cheeks. The eldest sister is actually blushing. Brother Zhang is rich and has over 100 million yuan. He has a handsome appearance and a close relationship. Even a woman can't resist him. What are you talking about? My eldest sister has never worshipped money. In my opinion, she is attracted by Brother Yang's handsomeness. Brother Zhang, Sister Shui has never taken the initiative to bring a man into our circle, but you are still the first. Seize the opportunity. When the 8 rich second generation saw Zhang Shui, who had always been free and easy, turned red-faced, they all took the opportunity to ridicule him. Shut up, miss. Zhang Shui shouted coldly, pretending to be serious, with a straight face. However, against the background of the rosy cheeks, Zhang Shui not only did not appear to be serious, but instead looked more and more alluring. Again, everyone laughed at him. Seeing how disrespectful her usual best friend was, Zhang Shui picked up a glass of wine and deliberately changed the subject. Well, let me bring you a glass first. Brother Zhang, from today on we are friends. If anything happens in Nanchang from now on, no matter how big or small, just say hello to your brother and it will definitely be solved. Brother Zhang, I'd like to propose a toast to you. These second-generation rich people are not fools, so naturally they will not miss the opportunity to make friends with Zhang Chen, and they all raise their glasses and drink it down. Dry. If people respect me 1 foot, I respect others 1 foot. Zhang Chen was not a emoji person either, so he immediately returned the toast. Just when everyone was put down and the rich second generation wanted to talk to Zhang Chen, the door of the private room was opened again. A young man came uninvited. This man had a white face and a clean beard, and was wearing a brand-name suit. He was on par with the rich second generation in the box. Please give me flowers. 0. Mr. Chen from the Magic City is in the box next door. Please invite Miss Zhang to come over and have a glass of wine. The young man seemed to be inviting, but his words were full of command. Especially the condescending look made everyone in the box feel disgusted. Who the hell are you? This is Nanchang City, not your magical city. If you want to show off, go back to your hometown. On Zhang Shui's side, A rich second generation couldn't bear it anymore and pointed at the young man and cursed. Zhang Shui is their eldest sister, and also represents the face of all the rich second generations in Nanchang City. If Zhang Shui really went to accompany him for a drink, where should Nanchang Day's face go? Thank you, Mr. Chen, for your kindness on my behalf. I am not good at drinking. If you have something to do, please make an appointment in advance through Zhang Group's customer service. Zhang Shui is neither humble nor arrogant, and she refuses gracefully. Bang! 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 The young man didn't show any sign of anger, but clapped his hands. The sound in the private room was turned off, and 20 bartenders entered one after another, each holding 2 bottles of red wine set with gold. Anyone who has been to Hane Bar will be familiar with this bottle of wine. Royal salute. There is a bottle placed at the entrance of Hane Bar, which is very eye-catching. The terrifying price of a single bottle of 50,000 yuan shocked everyone. These 20 royal salutes are Mr. Chen's gift to Miss Zhang. Please don't dislike it, Miss Zhang. The young man had a smile on his face, but his eyes were mixed with a little contempt when he looked at the rich second generation of Nanchang City. How could you bunch of country bumpkins have ever seen a $2 million meeting gift? A bunch of country bumpkins, open your eyes, as the young people expected, when the rich second generation in the box learned that these 40 bottles of royal salute were a meeting gift from Mr. Chen, they all fell silent. Competing for financial resources is a tacit way of fighting for all the rich second generation. If you have money, you are the boss, you have the right to speak. With the wealth of the rich second generation in southern cities, it is not difficult to spend 2 million. However, giving out 2 million as a meeting gift is far beyond what they can do. Mr. Chen from the Magic City, before he showed up, he trampled these rich second brothers under his feet. No reward for no merit. This meeting gift is too valuable. Please take it back for Mr. Chen. Zhang Shui responded coldly. Miss Zhang, what you said is wrong. Given our status, isn't it normal to give a meeting gift of 2 million? Mr. Chen, this is too little. The young man spread his hands and his attitude became more and more arrogant. A group of country bumpkins, even a meeting gift worth 2 million feels expensive. They really have no worldliness at all. You. The rich second generation of Nanchang City had never experienced such an insult. They angrily pointed at the young people who came to give gifts. However, all of them were speechless. Miss Zhang, please. The young man retreated to the door, turned slightly sideways and made a gesture of invitation to Zhang Shui. Now there are only 2 options before the rich second generation of Nanchang City. The first is to return the gift, and the second is to let Zhang Shui accompany him in the private room 2 or 3 inches away. Courtesy reciprocates. Once they accept this meeting gift, they will also receive a gift worth 2 million. If Mr. Chen has bad intentions, he will definitely find excuses to continue giving gifts, and the amount will be even larger. If it comes to the end and the rich second generation of Nanchang City can't afford to pay it back, it will be a shame. This meeting gift cannot be accepted under any circumstances. As for avoidance, this word has never been found in the dictionary of the rich second generation. Okay. I want to see who your Mr. Chen is. Seeing that things had come to this, Zhang Shui could only break the jar and planned to go to the private room next door to accompany him for a drink. Sister Shui. You can't go. The second generation rich people in Nane City became anxious and rushed to dissuade Zhang Shui. That Mr. Chen from the Demon City clearly came here for Zhang Shui. Wouldn't Zhang Shui's departure be like a sheep falling into a tiger's mouth? By then, the best outcome would be for Zhang Shui to be taken advantage of. Think more seriously. Unthinkable. Don't worry, Sister Shui. I've never seen anyone in the world. I'm just here to have a drink with you. I'll come as soon as I go. Zhang Shui took a deep breath and forced a smile. But this time, Zhang Chen didn't see those 2 cute little tiger teeth. Wait. When Zhang Shui was about to walk out of the private room, Zhang Chen suddenly spoke. Go back and tell Mr. Chen that we will accept this wine. Zhang Chen, we can't accept it. Zhang Shui was also anxious at this time. Zhang Chen walked to the door, pulled Zhang Shui back, and gave him a reassuring look. Courtesy reciprocates. It stands to reason that Mr. Chen has come all the way and brought gifts. As the hosts, we should reciprocate the courtesy. However, I think Mr. Chen doesn't like this small gift money. It would be better to lend flowers to the Buddha and make the entire bar guests happy. How many tables are there in Hane Bar? Zhang Chen suddenly asked a waiter mid-sentence. Sir, including private rooms, there are a total of 200 tables, the waiter replied truthfully. Well, it's to show that Nanchang City welcomes Master Chen. Including private rooms, there are 200 private tables, a bottle of royal salute on each table, and the money will be charged to my card. Zhang Chen handed the bank card to the waiter with a calm expression and spoke without any hesitation. It's like giving away a bunch of worthless cabbage, it's not a big deal. 50,000 for a bottle of royal salute. 200 bottles can cost 10 million. After calculating the amount, there was a gasp in the entire box. This is a gift worth 20 million. Compared with Zhang Chen, the 2 million given to Mr. Chen is like a child playing house. It doesn't even count. I just spent 77 million on a car during the day, and another 10 million on wine at night. In just one day's work, Zhang Chen achieved a small goal. How much money does Zhang Chen have? Even if you have a bank at home, you can't afford to do this. For a time, the rich second generation in Nanchang City had a lot of speculations about Zhang Chen's identity. Zhang Shui was also looking at Zhang Chen with a moved face at this time, with little stars in her eyes. Zhang Chen didn't say anything before, until she was forced to go drink with him, and then Zhang Chen took out 20 million. Zhang Chen made it clear that he was standing up for her. A man will die for a confidant, and a woman will live for a confidant. How could Zhang Shui not be moved? Okay, I'll go and convey your kindness, sir. The young man gritted his teeth and said, turning his head and walking away, his voice extremely gloomy. Seeing that Mr. Chen's mission was about to be completed, Cheng Yaojin came out at the last moment, and Zhang Chen was instantly hated. He didn't doubt that there was no money in the card. With such a huge amount involved, the bar will definitely choose to settle the bill before serving the drinks. By then, if this card cannot be used to generate money, Zhang Shui and others will be even more embarrassed. Do your job to the end and send Buddha to the west. Then go and inform the bar. All the expenses of the bar guests tonight will be deducted from this card. The young man had just taken 2 steps, Zhang Chen added. 1 knife. Looking at the back of the young man fleeing in embarrassment, Zhang Chen sneered. What Zhang Chen is not afraid of the most is competition for financial resources. Since acquiring the system, Zhang Chen has been making money even as he breathes. To Zhang Chen, money is just a string of numbers. It is no exaggeration to say that even if he is facing the richest man in the world, as long as Zhang Chen is given time, Zhang Chen can bankrupt him. 10 million? Isn't it just a day's pocket money? In box 888, a young man who had escaped from the desert pushed open the door and entered. Didn't I ask you to invite Zhang Shui? Where is the person? The person who spoke was none other than Mr. Chen in the young man's mouth, Chen Yuhao. As a disciple of the Chen family, Chen Yuhao is one of the heirs of Best Group, the leading enterprise in Magic City, and his status is extremely noble. Everyone must bow wherever they go, and then respectfully call Mr. Chen Zhou. Yesterday, Chen Yuhao accidentally saw Zhang Shui's photo from someone else's circle of friends. He was instantly attracted by Zhang Shui's beautiful smile and was shocked. So today I led a group of friends to Nane City. The things that Chen Yuhao likes have never escaped from the hands of the country. What's more, the other party is just a female member of a small family. As long as I throw a sum of money casually, the other party will definitely crawl into bed obediently. After Chen Yuhao 3.3 inquired, he learned that Zhang Shui was having a party at Hane Bar, and then the scene that just happened. Mr. Chen, the gangsters don't take you seriously at all. The young man described the incident bitterly. Before he finished speaking, there was a knock on the door, and a waiter walked into the box carrying a bottle of royal salute. This is a free gift from the gentleman next door. The waiter placed the royal salute on the table and then left. Looking at the royal salute on the table, Chen Yuhao picked it up and smashed it to the ground without saying a word. It seems that people in this small place don't know how powerful I am. Chen Yuhao's eyes were dark and his voice was extremely cold. However, at this moment, the speakers in the bar hall suddenly became quiet. I saw the DJ holding a microphone and standing high on the DJ stage. Mr. Zhang will pay for all the consumption in the bar tonight. Damn it. Check it for me. I want to see what kind of god this person named Zhang is. Chen Yuhao looked at the crazy crowd in the hall through the one-way window and felt that he had been greatly insulted. As one of the heirs of the best group, he would be flattered no matter where you went, but he didn't expect that he would stumble in this southern city today. Chen Yuhao had just sent out a royal salute worth 1 million, but Zhang Chen backhand sent out a royal salute worth 10 million. Moreover, Zhang Chen directly paid for the entire Hane bar tonight, completely cutting off his way to fight back. What's the use of having money? I can give you nowhere to spend your money. Master, I found out that Mr. Yang's full name is Zhang Chen. He is the one who spent 77 million to buy 2 luxury cars at the Hengdu Auto Show today. After making many inquiries, Chen Yuhao's assistant finally found out Zhang Chen's identity. He spent 77 million to buy a car, plus the more than 10 million he spent at Hane Bar today. Zhang spent 90 million in one day. After Chen Yuhao learned about Zhang Chen's daily expenses, he realized how terrifying Zhang Chen's financial resources were. With Chen Yuhao's identity, it is not difficult to get 90 million, but this money must be spent on business. If he dares to be like Zhang Chen and spend 90 million to buy a car and go clubbing, his father will definitely give him a discount. Master, this time the group asked you to come to Nane City to give you experience. It's best not to cause trouble at this juncture, otherwise the board of directors will blame you again. The male assistant was afraid that Chen Yuhao would be angry and do something. Impulsive things, remind him in a low voice. A strong dragon cannot overwhelm a local snake, not to mention that what they are facing now is not a dragon crossing the river on their own territory. HMPH. You go and send a message to me right now, and I, Chen Yuhao, have taken note of this account. Chen Yuhao ordered the young man, and then left the Hane Bar angrily. The entire Hane Bar was booked by Zhang Chen tonight. If Chen Yuhang continued to stay, it would only add to the joke. The young man broke directly into the box where Zhang Chen was. Why are you back? Did you run out of wine? Zhang Chen said with a smile. Brother Zhang has already said that all the consumption at Hane Bar today will be counted on Brother Zhang. I tell you, Mr. Chen, don't be afraid of spending money, just feel free to spend money. Master Chen doesn't know what kind of wine tastes good, do you want me to order it for him? The second-generation rich people around Zhang Chen all mocked him. They had been squeezed hard by this young man just now. Now that they had finally seized the opportunity to fight back, how could they let it go so easily? HMPH. Mr. Chen said that he has taken note of this account. If you offend Mr. Chen, you have offended the Chen group. The young man's face turned black and white as he was ridiculed by the crowd. After saying a harsh word angrily, he slammed the door and left. This Mr. Chen is actually from the Chen group. A rich second generation couldn't help but exclaimed after learning Chen Yuhao's identity. Do you know Mr. Chen? Zhang Chen asked. The Chen Group is the leader in the real estate development industry in Magic City. It is said that most properties in Magic City are developed by the Chen Group. Chen Hanshao, chairman of the Chen Group, is a big shot who has been on Hu Rui's list all year round. Judging from the other party's tone, Mr. Chen should be Chen Hanshao's son. The rich second generation replied. It turns out he's in real estate, Zhang Chen murmured. In recent years, housing prices have skyrocketed, and the real estate industry has been booming. As a real estate developer in a first-tier city like Shanghai, Chen Group's strength goes without saying. At least it is not comparable to a quasi-first-tier city like Nanchang City. However, Zhang Chen did not take the so-called Mr. Chen seriously at all. So what can you do no matter how powerful you are? At worst, I'll buy all the properties developed by your Chen Group. Come on, drink. Zhang Chen raised his wine glass high. After spending a short time together, Zhang Chen had already become one with these rich second generations. These second-generation rich people just have a little problem with being pampered when they were young. Other than that, they're quite to Zhang Chen's liking. Brother Zhang, let's toast you. The 8 rich second generations gathered around Zhang Chen and raised their glasses. If Zhang Chen hadn't come to the rescue today, they would have been humiliated. Zhang Chen, I'm really sorry, I have caused you to spend more than 10 million, but don't worry, I will definitely return this money to you in the future. Zhang Shui looked at Zhang Chen with an apologetic look and promised firmly. It's only over 10 million, don't take it to heart, just treat it like I'm treating everyone to a meal and a drink. Zhang Chen waved his hand nonchalantly and said. For Zhang Chen, 10 million is just a day's income. All the rich second generation, including Zhang Shui, were suddenly speechless. If it's so awkward, I won't be able to handle it at all. After toasting and changing glasses, Zhang Chen and the rich second generation drank until late at night before they dispersed. After Zhang Shui and Zhang Chen added each other on WeChat, they said goodbye at the door of the bar. After Yang's driver picked up Zhang Shui, Zhang Chen took a taxi and returned home. Zhang Chen opened the car window, blowing in the cold wind, and a feeling of drunkenness instantly surged into his head. In a daze, Zhang Chen only felt that someone was helping him back home, and then he fell asleep. Early the next morning, Zhang Chen endured a headache after drinking. He opened his eyes with difficulty, only to find that he was already lying on the bed. "Mr. Zhang, you're awake. Drink the porridge quickly. It's not good for your health to drink wine on an empty stomach." At this moment, Li Wanqing walked in wearing an apron and carrying a bowl of rice porridge. "I didn't expect a beautiful woman like you to cook." As Zhang Chen spoke, he took the rice porridge and took a slow sip. It smells pretty good." While Zhang Chen was drinking porridge, his cell phone suddenly rang. He picked it up and saw that it was a prestigious message from Zhang Shui. "Zhang Chen, look at the news headlines quickly. The incident at Hane Bar is going viral." After Zhang Chen saw the message from Zhang Shui, he opened the headlines and found that the entire page was almost occupied by the news that he hired Han Hai Bar under H's contract last night. Fortunately, no one knew Zhang Chen's identity at that time, so the news was replaced by the two titles, Mysterious Rich Man, and Mr. Zhang. Regarding Zhang Chen's prodigal behavior, there are a lot of comments on the internet. There were those who knelt down and hugged his thighs as pendants, and there were also those who were envious and jealous. There were also many self-proclaimed righteous people who stood on the highest moral point and criticized Zhang Chen's wasteful behavior from a high position. Regarding this, Zhang Chen just smiled disapprovingly. This is the type of keyboard warrior who is timid in real life but attacks hard on the internet. After breakfast, Zhang Chen first went to the Hane Bar parking lot to pick up his car, and then drove to Nanchang Labor Market. If it weren't for his luck yesterday, Zhang Chen almost wouldn't have been able to get a taxi and would have been freezing outside all night. With the lessons learned yesterday, Zhang Chen decided to find a driver no matter what. Look at those rich second-generation people. They can be picked up and dropped off by a special car just a phone call away. Look at yourself again. You have to take a taxi when you are drunk, and you have to come back and drive when you are sober. It seems that in some aspects, there is still a big gap between myself and the real rich. Zhang Chen sighed with emotion, and then drove into the Nanchang Labor Market. Zhang Chen had just stepped into the talent market when a marketing manager stepped forward to greet him. There was no way, after all, the laffa driven by Zhang Chen was so dazzling that it was impossible not to get noticed. "I wonder what your name is, sir?" The marketing manager welcomed Zhang Chen into the office, and he was extremely polite. "My surname is Zhang. I want to find a driver." Zhang Chen glanced at the work badge worn by the HR manager and directly stated his purpose. "I wonder what Mr. Yang's requirements are for the drivers he recruits." The HR manager took a pen and paper and planned to record it. "I only have 2 requirements. First, you must drive steadily, and second, you must have good fists and kicks." Zhang Chen stated his requirements. Zhang Chen's requirements are actually not high. It can be said to be extremely simple. There are many wealthy drivers who work part-time as bodyguards. What's more, some even ask for gender, appearance, etc., all kinds of weird requirements. "I wonder how much salary Mr. Zhang plans to pay?" the HR manager asked. "Well, let's tentatively set a monthly salary of 100,000 yuan, and then increase it after performance is good. If you want a horse to run, you have to feed it." When it comes to salary, Zhang Chen has never been stingy. A monthly salary of 100,000, okay, Halfway through recording, the hour manager suddenly stopped writing in his hand and asked repeatedly in disbelief, "Mr. Zhang, you mean your monthly salary is 100,000? If he hadn't seen Zhang Chen driving the laffa, the hour manager would have thought that Zhang Chen was here to cause trouble on purpose. With a monthly salary of 100,000 yuan, it is impossible for some top students who have returned from overseas to receive such a high salary. "Is there any problem?" Zhang Chen asked. "No problem. Since Mr. Zhang offers such a high salary, he must also have requirements for gender and appearance." The HR manager thought for a moment, then suddenly realized, and acted like he understood. He had met such a rich man before, and directly offered him a monthly salary of tens of thousands of yuan, specifying that he was looking for a beautiful female driver. As for the reason for this, it can only be understood but cannot be expressed in words. After all, once the car seat is folded down, it becomes a bed. I'm looking for a serious male driver, Chen said every word with great solemnity. I'm sorry, Mr. Zhang, I'm overthinking it. I'll go make arrangements for you right away. The HR manager apologized profusely and returned to the office with a team of interviewers shortly after leaving. Chen took a quick look and saw that he is a servant. I don't know if the HR manager didn't understand what Chen meant, but 2 of the 30 people were female drivers. High heels, fishnet stockings, and big waves. Beauty is 70%, dressing up is 90%. Any movement you make can arouse people's desire to drive. However, Chen has been in contact with beauties like Chen Yinner and Zhang Shui more these days, and his taste has improved a lot. He really has no interest in these women who rely on heavy makeup. Mr. Zhang, these people all want to apply to be your driver, the HR manager said to Chen. If you are under 1.8 meters, you don't want it, and if you are a woman, you don't want it. Chen casually mentioned 2 requirements and screened out 2/3 of the candidates. Chen is 1.8 meters tall. If the driver is too tall, and the 2 of them stand together, people who don't understand will think that Chen is the driver. As for why he doesn't want a girl, Chen just wants to take a car now and doesn't want to drive. He continued, who among you has experience driving luxury cars, please come forward. As soon as the words fell, 4 people stood up. Okay, you 6 can go. Chen said to the remaining 6 people. Mr. Zhang, can you give me a chance? I can learn everything. I really need this job. At this moment, 10 voices came from the eliminated crowd. Chen looked around and saw a strong man standing there. The strong man's clothes had been washed and turned white, and he didn't have any accessories like a watch that could enhance his image. He looked very poor and miserable. But what surprised Chen the most was that Chen actually felt an inexplicable danger from this strong man. Especially those big copper bell eyes, which flashed a fierce light from time to time. He is a ruthless character. This kind of person is a perfect candidate to be a bodyguard. After Chen saw the fierce light in the eyes of this strong man, he felt a love for talents. With this fierce little look in his eyes, who would dare to come close to him? When you have such a person as a bodyguard, let alone your strength, at least you have enough face. If you have money, you have to pay attention to the appearance. Tell me, what's your name and what are your specialties? Chen asked back. If a man wants to stand out in society, he must be tall or have special skills. Tell Mr. Zhang, my name is Li Hu. If you are good at it. The strong man hesitated for a moment, and then replied seriously, tell the boss, I can skillfully operate various hot and cold weapons, and I can also simply drive and fight. Helicopter. Chen. Other applicants. Where did this god come from? We are recruiting car drivers here. Brother, are you on the wrong battlefield? Mr. Zhang, to be honest, I have been a mercenary abroad for more than 10 years, and over time I have learned to simply fly a combat helicopter. Li Hu was afraid that Chen wouldn't believe it, so he directly lifted up his shirt on his back with both hands, revealing his full back scar. Various knife scars and bullet scars are superimposed on each other, which is particularly eye-catching. Mr. Zhang, these scars were left by Zhao Zhao on the battlefield. Looking at Li Hu's back covered with scars, Chen suddenly realized why he sensed danger from him. Perhaps this is what people often say, the murderous spirit honed between life and death. Li Hu may even have been killed on foreign battlefields. Some things cannot be disguised, nor can they be concealed. Okay, it's you. The monthly salary is 100,000 yuan, and you will be responsible for food and housing. If you perform well, you will get an extra salary. Chen immediately decided to hire Li Hu. This kind of talent is rare but hard to find. With such a stable environment in the country, it is impossible to find such a person. As for driving skills, there is no need to consider them at all. You can even fly in the sky, let alone run on the ground. When the other candidates saw that the unassuming Li Hu had such a big background, they did not dare to compete with Li Hu for this position, even if they were facing a monthly salary of 100,000 yuan. If I anger such a person, I am afraid that I will not be able to spend my life to spend it. Half an hour later, Chen drove the Rafa slowly into Victory Square under the protection of 26 Audi A6s. Li Shozong, the person in charge of Victory Plaza, received the news of Zhang Chen's arrival in advance and did not dare to neglect at all. He made a special parking space for the team early. Everyone, give way. Li Shozong pointed to a row of empty parking spaces and kept directing the pedestrians passing by. At this time, it was time to get off work, and office workers in the surrounding office buildings were planning to go downstairs to eat. It was a crowded time. When these people saw the long black queue of Audis, they subconsciously gave way and focused their attention on Rafa in the middle of the Audis. A little red amidst all the darkness, don't think too much, the owner of this team is on the Rafa. The Audi fleet parked neatly in a special parking space, and 26 bodyguards in black suits got out of the car first. The 26 bodyguards stand with their feet parallel to their shoulders, their hands behind their backs, and their heads held high. Just going to that station gives people a huge pressure like the weight of mountains. In an instant, the crowd of onlookers fell silent, not even daring to speak out. Several people who planned to take pictures also quietly put away their mobile phones, for fear of attracting the attention of these strong men in black. Mr. Zhang, Victory Square has arrived. 290. Li Hu jogged all the way to the door of Zhang Chen's lofa, leaned over the window and said respectfully. Zhang Chen nodded with satisfaction. He had to say that Li Hu was thoughtful and drove the Rafa all the way. Even if Li Hu didn't say anything, Zhang Chen knew that the team had reached Victory Square. But after Li Hu's whole process, the sense of ritual became apparent, and he was instantly full of charm. Increase wages. Employees who understand their boss's wishes must increase wages. Zhang Chen slowly opened the scissor door, and Li Hu quickly put his hand on the doorframe to prevent Zhang Chen from hitting his head. When Li Shozong saw Zhang Chen get out of the car, he hurriedly greeted him, but before he could get within 10 steps of Zhang Chen, he was stopped by 2 bodyguards. Mr. Zhang, it's me, Li Shozong. Li Shozong looked at the bodyguard who was a full head taller than him and as burly as a door panel. He didn't dare to break in, so he could only say hello selectively. Zhang Chen nodded, and then the 2 bodyguards let him go. Mr. Zhang, your noodles. Li Shozong trotted all the way to Zhang Chen. Looking at the 26 bodyguards with stern expressions, he didn't know how to describe it for a long time. In the end, he could only give 2 CCAJ thumbs up. Haha, it's just a small scene. Zhang Chen waved his hands modestly, but the expression on his face was filled with pride. Including the car and salary, Zhang Chen invested more than 17 million. Judging from this arrangement, the 17 million is well worth it. At this time, the Greenland Square was already filled with people watching the excitement. Without Zhang Chen's deliberate instructions, the 26 bodyguards took the initiative to divide into 2 rows, holding hands. A 3-meter-wide road was cleared from the crowd, leading directly to the dedicated elevator on the top floor of the Greenland building. If there is another red carpet, it will be a rhythm that will reach heaven. Under the attention of passers-by on both sides, Zhang Chen walked into the elevator without haste. Li Shozong, who was following him, quickly pressed the elevator button on the 36th floor with quick eyes and hands. Li Hu and other 26 bodyguards watched the elevator stop on the 36th floor, then took the elevator in the lobby and went to the 35th floor, which had been decorated as a dormitory, to wait. When Li Hu and others left, the crowd around him breathed a sigh of relief. My Sao, who was that young man just now? He was so awesome. No. Just 26 bodyguards were hitting me there, and I didn't even dare to breathe. When I get rich, I'll do the same thing, have fun. Stop it, you can't even afford an Alto, and you still want to buy an Audi? The crowd in the square was talking a lot, and after a while, everyone in the square learned the news. On the 36th floor of the Greenland building, a big shot came. The purpose of Zhang Chen's visit to Greenland building this time was mainly to see the company's decoration status. When we walked out of the elevator, the entire floor was filled with decoration materials. Li Wanqing was holding the decoration design drawings and kept gesticulating to the workers. Mr. Zhang, why are you here? It's too messy here. Let's go downstairs to talk. After seeing Zhang Chen arriving, Li Wanqing quickly put down the drawings and came over. It's okay, I just want to see how the decoration is going, Zhang Chen said. Mr. Zhang, the design drawings have been finalized, and the materials and workers are in place. The decoration can be completed in 2 months at most. Li Wanqing made an estimate and replied. The top floor of Greenland building is 3,000 square meters without any partitions, which is equivalent to a small square. In addition, Zhang Chen has very high requirements for decoration and needs to decorate several presidential suites. 2 months is already the fastest time. It takes 2 months? Zhang Chen shook his head with some dissatisfaction. It was less than a month before the renovation of the number 27 middle school district building, and the company must be built before then. 1 month at most. I want to see the company's facade in 1 month. Zhang Chen ordered Li Wanqing. Mr. Zhang, this is a fine decoration. If we rush the work, it will inevitably affect the decoration effect. Li Wanqing explained with some embarrassment. Renovation is a delicate job, and if the construction period is shortened from 2 months to 1, there will definitely be many flaws. Then find a few more construction teams. Instead of dividing the company into 4 areas, I will find 4 construction teams to start work at the same time, Zhang Chen said. Mr. Zhang, if we add 3 more construction teams, it will cost at least double the decoration cost, Li Wanqing said in shock. The decoration budget for the 36th floor is 3 million, of which only 1 million is spent on materials, and the bulk is 2 million on labor costs. If you follow Zhang Chen's method, you will have to spend at least 2 million more. I'll give you 3 million. Don't be afraid of spending money. What I want is speed, Zhang Chen said nonchalantly. It's only 3 million, which is just drizzle to Zhang Chen. Facing Zhang Chen's inhumanity, Li Wanqing was speechless for a while. The company wouldn't be able to make so much profit if it opened a month early. If you have money, you can be willful. You've been busy all morning and haven't eaten yet. Let's go have a meal together. After the arrangements were made, Zhang Chen invited Li Wanqing. If the boss opens his mouth, the employee will break his leg. I will have to work overtime to find a construction team for you. You can go and eat first. Li Wanqing is also dedicated. As soon as Zhang Chen finished the arrangements, Li Wanqing began to contact the new construction team. Okay, I'll give you a bonus at the end of the month, Zhang Chen encouraged, and then left the Greenland building. Sitting on the Lafa car, Zhang Chen thought that he had nothing to do in the afternoon, so he opened the Weixin friends list and swiped at random with his eyes closed. Opening his eyes, Zhang Chen saw his finger resting on Chen Yiner's prestige profile picture, and Zhang Chen directly sent a message to it. Beauty, do you want a date? Nane Art College, Girls Dormitory 306. Chen Yiner's cell phone rang. She picked it up and saw that it was a message from Zhang Chen. Beauty, do you want to date? Oh, Yiner, you are in a situation. When Chen Yiner was reading the message, her best friend Shu Wei suddenly poked her head over. There are 4 girls in dormitory 306. Chen Yan and Li Chuhong went to accompany their sponsors last night. We fought fiercely all day and night, and now we haven't come back. The remaining girl is Chen Yiner's only best friend, Shu Wei. No way, Zhang Chen and I are just friends. Chen Yiner shook her head and denied, but her blushing face betrayed her. Mr. Zhang is too direct. He just asks for an appointment when he comes up, without caring about other people's feelings. Ouch, your face is as red as a monkey's ass, why don't you take it seriously? Shu Wei said, and directly used a set of white bone claws to push Chen Yiner down on the bed, and raised and lowered his hands. Don't make trouble, Itchy, Shu Wei, I was wrong, I can't do it, please let me reply to the message first. How could Chen Yiner withstand this kind of attack? She was defeated as soon as her body became weak. I'll reply to the message for you. You are the treasure of our art school, I must keep an eye on you. Shu Wei grabbed Chen Yiner's cell phone and directly replied a message to Zhang Chen as she spoke. A date. My bestie also wants to hang out with me. In Victory Square, after Zhang Chen saw Chen Yiner's reply, he directly ordered Li Hu. Ahu, you go to the Hengdu Auto Show and bring my Rolls-Royce over. Half an hour later, Li Hu came back driving the Rolls-Royce Phantom Limited Edition Tranquility that Zhang Chen had just purchased yesterday. The person in charge of the auto show was also thoughtful and specially gave this Rolls-Royce a license plate of 88,888, which is extremely impressive. After Li Hu drove the Rolls-Royce over, Zhang Chen threw Rafa aside and drove to Nanchang Art Institute in the Rolls-Royce. As for the driver, of course he is Li Hu. You don't buy a Rolls-Royce to drive it. There is a saying that goes well, those who drive a Rolls-Royce are not necessarily the boss, but those who ride in a Rolls-Royce are definitely rich. As for why Zhang Chen doesn't drive a supercar that's full of style. Didn't you see that the school beauty is bringing her best friend with her? A two-seat supercar can only carry one girl. Zhang Chen drove and sat in the backseat and asked Li Hu to turn on the car audio. The perfect sound insulation facilities block all noise, including the engine, from outside the car. Only the natural, wild and attractive sound of beyond echoes inside the car. Riding in a car is like attending a concert. The life of a rich person is to enjoy it all the time, even when going out in a car. After playing the single, Boundless Sea and Sky, 4 times, the Rolls-Royce slowly stopped at the entrance of Nanchung Art Institute. Through the car window, Zhang Chen saw Chen Yinner standing at the school gate from a distance. Chen Yinner would put her hand on her forehead from time to time and look around under the sun, probably waiting for him. Next to Chen Yinner stood a girl with long shawl hair and a sky-blue dress. In terms of appearance alone, this girl may be slightly inferior to Chen Yinner. But with the blessing of famous brands and various expensive cosmetics, overall she can be comparable to Chen Yinner. The two of them stood hand in hand at the entrance of Nanchung Art Institute, like a beautiful landscape, attracting the attention of countless students. Birds of a feather flock together, and people flock together. He is so good-looking and still stands with Chen Yinner. Zhang Chen estimates that this girl is Chen Yinner's best friend. Li Hu got out of the car, walked to the rear door, and opened the door for Zhang Chen. Yinner. Here. Zhang Chen got out of the car and waved at Chen Yinner from a distance. Shu Wei, he is Zhang Chen. After Chen Yinner saw Zhang Chen, she quickly led Shu Wei and ran towards Zhang Chen. Walking closer, Shu Wei secretly took a look at Zhang Chen. So elegant. Shu Hui's eyes lit up when she saw a Rolls-Royce parked behind Zhang Chen, and Li Hu, who was wearing a suit, sunglasses and white gloves, looking like a driver. Her eyes almost lit up. These days, it is king for men to have money, handsome and rich. He is called a male god. Brother Zhang, this is my best friend Shu Wei. When Chen Yinner introduced Shu Wei, she noticed that Zhang Chen was riding in a Rolls-Royce this time. Chen Yinner was very familiar with this car. It was through her that this car was sold to Zhang Chen. Luxurious cars and beautiful women are irresistible to any man. Two beauties, Chen Yinner and Shu Wei, stood next to the Rolls-Royce and instantly became the focus of everyone's attention. Please give me flowers. In a short time, many people surrounded Rolls-Royce. Brother, why does your Rolls-Royce look different? Among the crowd, someone who knew about cars noticed the unique shape of Zhang Chen's Rolls-Royce and couldn't help but ask. Brother Yang's Rolls-Royce Phantom Limited Edition Tranquility is worth 47 million. Chen Yinner deliberately raised the noise and took advantage of the situation to hold Zhang Chen's arm. Did you see that the owner of this Rolls-Royce worth 47 million is my man, Chen Yinner? From now on, who dares to say that I, Chen Yinner, am pretending to be noble? My man is beyond your reach. Wow. This car is actually worth 47 million. Hey, I took a look at the car news yesterday. 2 luxury cars were sold on the first day of the Hanggu Auto Show. One of them was this Rolls-Royce priced at 47 million. Shenhao. Do you still need some errands? After learning the price of this Rolls-Royce, the surrounding crowd immediately became excited and took out their mobile phones to take pictures. This is a Rolls-Royce worth 47 million, a luxury car among the rich. A great tool for showing off in the circle of friends. There are many people here, let's get in the car first. In order to prevent anyone from taking advantage of the 2 girls, Zhang Chen directly took the 2 girls into the car. There were 2 girls, one on each side. Zhang Chen sat in the middle and put his arms on the shoulders of the 2 girls. Have both sides. Zhang Chen suddenly remembered Chen Yinner's introduction that the rear seats can be folded flat as a bed. Didi. Li Hu started the car and blew the horn twice. He pressed the button on the center control panel. I saw a piece of fogged glass rising between the front compartment and the rear compartment, and the curtains on the rear windows closed automatically. The back row of the Rolls-Royce is like a small, airtight room. If Zhang Chen wants to do something, he can't even see it from the outside. The crowd around him did not dare to neglect and quickly found a way for Zhang Chen. This is a Rolls-Royce worth 47 million. A piece of paint is enough for me to work for a year. Watching Zhang Chen leave with the 2 girls, the crowd around him was filled with emotion. Rich people eventually get married, but those without money can only watch it for all to see. Mr. Zhang, I also have 25 brothers who are returning to China. Li Hu hesitated to speak. Thinking that his brother was still suffering at the construction site, he mustered up the courage to continue asking, I wonder if Mr. Zhang still lacks manpower. Are those 25 brothers the same as you? After Zhang Chen learned that Li Hu had comrades, he had a new idea in mind. Rich people have a fleet of cars when they go out, so they can't hold them back. All Li Hu's comrades were summoned, 26 fierce men, one person per car. Then, click, towards the car door. That scene, that aura. In the future, if you encounter a domineering rich second generation like Mr. Chen, you will never use money to slap him in the face. 26 big men each have a set of military-style boxing, and they are guaranteed to beat someone who doesn't even know their mother. Yes, 26 of us from the 130 retired at the same time, and we are about the same strength, Li Hu replied. Call them over and let me take a look first, Zhang Chen ordered. Thank you, Mr. Zhang, I will contact them right away. Li Hu wasn't stupid either. He understood Zhang Chen's intention in an instant. After thanking him, he quickly took out his cell phone and made a call. After a while, 25 strong men who looked like migrant workers, wearing sweatshirts and hard hats, arrived at the job market. These 25 strong men, like Li Hu, exuded an inexplicable ruthlessness all over their bodies. Mr. Zhang, these are my 25 brothers, take a look. Li Hu brought 25 people to Zhang Chen, and then ordered, stand at attention. Click. The 25 people were all in uniform, and with just one stomp of their feet, they showed a depressing aura. That's right. The monthly salary is 30,000 yuan. Those who want to work can stay, and those who don't want to work can leave. Zhang Chen nodded with satisfaction. This kind of movement and momentum cannot be developed overnight. Hello, Mr. Zhang. 26 mercenaries, including Li Hu, said hello in unison, and all stayed to sign a labor agreement with Zhang Chen. Li Hu. There are 100,000 in this card, and the password is 66. You go and buy 2 black suits for the brothers first. Zhang Chen was not worried that Li Hu would take the money and run away, so he just threw a bank card to the other party. If Li Hu couldn't tell the difference between a full meal and a full meal, he wouldn't want a bodyguard with such an IQ. Mr. Zhang, this is too expensive. Li Hu held the bank card and was a little at a loss. He didn't expect that Zhang Chen would trust him so much, and he would dare to give him so much money after spending less than half an hour together. Take it as you are told. I have no habit of taking back things I send out. Since you have been soldiers, you should know how to obey orders. Zhang Chen said to Li Hu in a commanding tone. Yes. Li Hu immediately saluted Zhang Chen and secretly made up his mind. I will definitely not let down Mr. Yang's kindness in the future. Zhang Chen first called Li Wanqing and asked her to book down the first floor of the company and use it as a dormitory for 26 bodyguards. Then he dialed Zhang Wenwen's phone number. Wenwen, I want to buy a car. When the call was made, Zhang Chen said straightforwardly. Brother Zhang, you just spent more than 70 million yesterday, and you want to buy a car again today? Zhang Wenwen said in shock, her voice rising by more than 10 decibels. This time I bought a cheaper mobility scooter, Audi A6. Zhang Chen thought for a long time, and finally decided to equip Li Hu and others with the most business-like Audi A6, which makes up the most impressive team. Zhang Wenwen was speechless for a while. A car worth more than 400,000 yuan is still cheap. I am afraid only Zhang Chen can say this. Brother Zhang, we happen to have a new A6 in our store. You can just come and pick up the car, Zhang Wenwen replied. I want to buy them in a package, buying 26 cars at a time, all of which are top of the range, Zhang Chen said. If the price of a top-end Audi A6 is at least 652,000. Zhang Wenwen just felt that her brain was not enough. She took the computer and did some calculations. She looked at the 8 digits on the digital display screen and couldn't react for a long time. Brother Zhang, please wait a moment. I will help you contact other 4S stores to see if we can transfer a few A6s. Zhang Wenwen replied faintly, and after hanging up the phone, she began to contact other 4S stores. After a day of planning, Zhang Wenwen called Zhang Chen in the evening and asked him to pick up the car at the Honor 4S store. When Zhang Chen led Li Hu and other bodyguards to the Honor 4S store, 26 black Audi A6s were lined up neatly. Looking around, it looks like a long black dragon, which is extremely spectacular. Store manager Wu Gohua led all employees to form a welcome team. After seeing Zhang Chen arriving, he hurriedly greeted him. That attitude was even more affectionate than seeing his own father. For a large order of 16 million, he can get at least 500,000 in commission. These days, except for loan sharks, even your biological father may not be able to give you 500,000. Mr. Zhang, these are 26 new Audi A6s prepared for you. Please take a look. Wu Gohua bowed and stood beside Zhang Chen with a respectful attitude. In Wu Gohua's eyes, Zhang is a god of wealth. The first time I bought a Lamborghini Hurricane worth more than 4 million yuan at the Honor 4S store, this time I wholesaled 26 Audi A6s, which gave Wu Gohua a commission of less than 1 million yuan. Must serve well. This will be your car from now on. Each of you can pick one and drive away if there are no problems. Zhang Chen waved his hand and ordered to Li Hu and others. What the hell? Spending 16 million to buy 26 Audi A6s just to drive them for his bodyguards. Wu Gohua looked back at the A4 he had worked hard to save money to buy. Well, I have worked hard for half my life, but in the end I am worse than a bodyguard. Under the shocked and envious looks of all the 4S store employees, Li Hu and others each picked one, got on it, and began to inspect the vehicle. 5 minutes later, the vehicle inspection was completed, and 26 bodyguards wearing sunglasses and black suits stood uniformly outside the main driver's door. This momentum, this row of faces, $16 million worth. Zhang Chen nodded with great satisfaction, then handed the bank card to Zhang Wenwen and asked her to sell the bill. Congratulations to Mr. Zhang on the delivery of 26 Audi A6s. After the car delivery ceremony, Wu Gohua took out his mobile phone and ran 20 meters away before taking photos of all 26 Audi A6s in front of him. Walk. Following Zhang Chen's order, 26 Audi A6s started up one after another, placing Zhang Chen's Lafayette in the middle, forming a long black queue and heading towards the Greenland building. Wu Gohua watched Zhang Chen leave, then took out his mobile phone and sent the photos he took to his circle of friends. Congratulations to Mr. Zhang on the Audi A6. Honor 4S store, one of the top 4S stores in Nanchang City. Looking at the last congratulations to Zhang Chen about the Lamborghini Hurricane, Wu Gohua always felt that something was missing. After thinking for a long time, he slapped his thigh and sold the 16-year-old car to the 4 big ones. Got in. Shu Wei sat on the soft seat, looking at the dazzling interior and listening to the soul-piercing car music, unable to return to her senses for a long time. At this time, Chen Yiner's words kept echoing in Shu Hui's head. This Rolls-Royce is a Phantom limited edition worth 47 million. She turned her head slightly and looked at the handsome Zhang Chen sitting next to her. Shu Wei couldn't help but think of her stingy boyfriend who drove an Audi A4, wanted to take her out to eat spicy hot pot for 6 yuan every day, and only bought a rose for Valentine's Day. Shu Wei felt sour instantly. They are both boyfriends, why is there such a big gap? You know how to send flowers during festivals, but why don't you send wine? If I'm not drunk, how can you have a chance? Where are we going to play? Zhang Chen turned to Chen Yiner and asked. Brother Zhang, you just have to decide. I can go anywhere. Chen Yiner replied very reservedly. Zhang Chen wanted Li Hu to drive the car to the hotel and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But then I thought that doing so was not in line with my temperament, so I gave up temporarily. 22 What's more, it's still daytime, so I can't go to the hotel. Just as Chen Yiner was speaking, an extremely discordant, gurgling sound sounded. The two followed the sound, and Shu Wei rubbed her belly in embarrassment. Mr. Zhang, I'm making you laugh. Yiner and I haven't had lunch yet. Shu Wei explained, the implication was that I wanted to eat first. It just so happens that I haven't eaten either. I'll take you to eat Western food. Zhang Chen said that he originally planned to take Li Wanqing to eat with him, but Li Wanqing didn't have time, so Zhang Chen hasn't eaten until now. Mr. Zhang, how can I have the nerve to cost you money? Thank you, Mr. Zhang. Chen Yiner wanted to be polite, but Shu Wei agreed directly. Shu Wei understands rich people very well. Rich people are rarely polite. If they say they want to treat you to a meal, they're treating you to a meal. There's absolutely no sign of condescension. If Chen Yiner is too reserved, it will lose Zhang Chen's face. Zhang Chen glanced at Shu Wei thoughtfully, but he didn't expect that this woman was quite scheming. But Zhang Chen didn't care. Picking up girls was like farming. You have to invest first before you will reap the rewards. With this in mind, Zhang Chen asked Li Hu to speed up and rush to Wangfujing Commercial Street. Under Zhang Chen's instruction, Li Hu drove a Rolls-Royce and stopped in front of a Western restaurant. After seeing the shining Statue of Liberty on the front of the car, the restaurant doorman quickly directed the car to park in the most eye-catching parking space. After getting out of the car, Chen Yin'er and Xu Wei walked into the Western restaurant, holding Zhang Chen's right arm. It was noon, a crowded time, and there were many customers in the Western restaurant. When these guests saw Zhang Chen and two very good-looking girls, they all looked envious. This is the real winner in life. Take us to the private room. Looking at the green eyes of the men around him, Zhang Chen said to the waiter. This way, sir. The waiter quickly brought Zhang Chen into the private room. After the three of them sat down, Zhang Chen placed the menu in front of the two women. Mr. Zhang, you'd better order some. After seeing the prices on the menu, the two women were speechless and said in unison. On the menu, the cheapest item is 10 yuan for a glass of pure water. In addition, all dish prices start at 3 digits. As for caviar and foie gras, which are very symbolic and noble foods, one portion costs thousands of yuan, and the two girls dare not even look at them. Okay, let me have some. Zhang Chen didn't know the taste of the two girls, so he simply ordered 10 salads in a row and said, I don't want any of these, and the rest will be the main portion. By the way, does your restaurant have Latour red wine? Zhang Chen asked. Sir, yes, yes. The waiter nodded repeatedly. Another bottle of the oldest Latour red wine. Zhang Chen continued to order. Most of the red wines on the market are considered fresh and easy to drink, and are produced by wineries just for consumers to drink them as quickly as possible. The best drinking period of this type of red wine is generally about 5 years. Beyond this period, the taste will gradually decline. However, the red wines produced by the world's top wineries such as Latour, Lafite, and Obiang are all works of art with intensive cultivation and craftsmanship. The purpose of brewing this kind of wine is to collect it and taste the historical aging of red wine. Well, this is the way to order dishes in a divine style. Mr. Zhang, you ordered so much, we can't finish it. Chen Yin'er was instantly impressed by Zhang Chen's handiwork. There are only 2 kinds of food that Western restaurants are most famous for. One is steak, or red wine in other words. When I was just flipping through it, I noticed that the price of the lattu was marked on the first line of the first page of the menu. The 1985 vintage Latour red wine sells for 18,888 yuan. It's okay. It's rare to have Western food. Try it all. Zhang Chen closed the menu and handed it to the waiter. When I had no money, I couldn't afford to eat Western food, and now that I have money, I don't have time to eat it. Today is a rare opportunity, so I decided to try it all. As for whether he can finish it, this is completely beyond Zhang Chen's consideration. Once you have the money to settle the bill, you're done. After a while, the waiter brought the appetizers to the table, which are often called appetizers. Since Zhang Chen ordered the entire menu, the appetizers included caviar, foie gras 733 sauce and butter chicken puff pastry. Zhang Chen and the two girls each had 3 plates placed in front of them. Wow, this black pearl is the legendary caviar? This foie gras looks delicious. After seeing the French food on the table, the two girls took out their mobile phones and took pictures. Posting to Moments and Weibo, the whole process is as smooth as a cloud. Zhang Chen was not interested in this set. While the two girls were taking photos, he had already started to pick up the tableware and eat. If the person sitting opposite was the world's richest man or some celebrities, Zhang Chen might even take a group photo to enhance his taste. Just 2 girls and a table of delicious food are not worth Zhang Chen's effort. After finishing the appetizers, the waiter brought out the rest of the dishes and red wine one after another. During the ceremonial service, Zhang Chen and the 2 girls tasted all the dishes. After finishing the meal, Zhang Chen paid with his card. Xu Wei turned her head frequently to look at Chen Yin'er, who looked happy at first, and her heart became more and more sad. If I hadn't taken advantage of Chen Yin'er today and relied on my stingy boyfriend, I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to eat this kind of delicacy in the next life. How great it would be if my boyfriend were Zhang Chen. Xu Hui's eyes were a little crazy when she saw Zhang Chen's smooth card swiping movements. We ordered so many dishes, we must have spent a lot of money. Xu Wei couldn't help but sigh. Except for the more expensive red wine, which costs RMB 18,888 per bottle, the total cost of these dishes is less than RMB 20,000. Chen glanced at the UnionPay receipt paper in his hand and saw that the consumption amount was 38,600 yuan. Western restaurants are all about exquisiteness. Although Chen ordered a lot of dishes, the portions were actually not that big. Less than 20,000? Regarding Chen's answer, Chen Yin'er got used to it after a lot of experience, but Xu Wei looked surprised and speechless at this time. Including red wine, one meal cost 30,000 yuan, which is not too much. We don't understand the consumption concept of money hungry. After paying the bill, Chen walked out of the Western restaurant with the two girls. During this period, I kept looking down at my phone. In the time it took to eat like this, her circle of friends had already exploded, and the comments from various friends directly exceeded 99 plus. Wow, Xu Wei, what a sumptuous lunch you had. This table of Western food must cost a lot of money, right? Isn't this a Western restaurant in Wangfujing Commercial Street? I heard that a meal costs several thousand. One of my sisters went to this restaurant for a meal with her boyfriend, and she came back and bragged to us about it. Looking at the various comments left by the usual plastic sisters, Xu Hui's vanity instantly exploded. She tried hard to imitate Chen's tone of voice and replied uniformly. It's just so-so. The consumption in this restaurant is acceptable. Except for a bottle of Latour red wine that costs 18,888 yuan, these dishes only cost less than 20,000 yuan. Naturally, Xu Hui's answers sometimes aroused envy from everyone. All kinds of compliments and praises fell on her like snowflakes, and Xu Wei instantly drifted off. I really envy Chen Yin'er, who can enjoy this kind of life every day in the future. Just when Xu Wei was about to be praised by her friends, the ringing of the phone brought her back to reality. Xu Wei, I looked at your circle of friends. Where do you get the money to eat in such a luxurious place? The person who called was Xu Hui's boyfriend Sun Xing, and his tone was aggressive. Xu Wei then remembered that she had been too excited just now and had replied to her friend's message in unison, but Sun Xing had seen it. You don't have to worry about it. If you don't bring me to a place like this to eat, why don't you allow me to be eaten here by others? Xu Wei felt furious after hearing Sun Xing's tone. Look at Chen, he is so rich, yet he is so gentle to Chen Yin'er. Look at her boyfriend again. Taking advantage of the family's small fortune, he yells at her every day. Xu Wei compared Sun Xing and Chen in her mind, and found that her boyfriend was worse than a pig. Bitch is just hypocritical. In the eyes of outsiders, it was Sun Xing who had been pursuing her. But Xu Wei knew that Sun Xing just wanted free sex. It is precisely because of seeing this clearly that Xu Wei has not been chased by Sun Xing for a long time. You wait for me in the Western restaurant now, I'll go over right now. I want to see who dares to touch my Sun Xing's horse. On the other end of the phone, Sun Xing was furious when he learned that Xu Wei really had dinner with others. Who has nothing to do to go back to a Western restaurant for dinner? Not to mention a meal. Sun Xing, don't come to me, we won't get results. Xu Wei was also stimulated by Sun Xing's words. She yelled at the phone angrily and then hung up the phone. After hanging up the phone, Xu Wei glanced at Chen, who had a strange look in his eyes, and then realized that he had lost his composure, and explained awkwardly. Mr. Zhang, I'm making you laugh, there are always people calling to harass me. My fair lady, you are a gentleman, I understand, Chen replied. Everyone has a love for beauty, but if you want to pursue a beauty of Xu Hui's level, you need more than just a will, you must have a big wallet. Brother Zhang, where are we going this afternoon? Chen Yin'er turned on her phone and asked as the time had just reached 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now that we have come to Wangfujing, we can't leave empty-handed. The reason why Chen came to Wangfujing was naturally not just to eat Western food. The main purpose was to pick out some gifts for Chen Yin'er. When a man goes out, his success or failure mainly depends on two things. One is the car and the other is the woman. The more elegant the woman around you is, the more respectable the man will be. It is precisely because of this that some celebrities will bring a glamorous female companion when they attend large events. Not for anything else, just face. Chen Yin'er used to have no money, so she wore fake name brands everywhere and wore high imitation watches. The reason why she was named the school beauty is entirely because she has a strong foundation and is very beautiful. But if Zhang Chen brought this image of Chen Yin'er out every day, he would definitely be laughed at. Even if the women around you are wearing fake brand names, how much money can you have? Burberry, a traditional British luxury jewelry store founded in 1856, is one of the brands used by the British royal family. Compared with world-renowned luxury accessories such as LV, Hermes and Dior, Burberry is like an aristocrat. Understated, full of luxury. Welcome to Burberry. What do you want from this gentleman and these two ladies? As the two girls walked into the store, the shopping guide lady in the store greeted them. Take them too to have a look. If you like it, just pack it up, Zhang Chen said, and then sat on the leather sofa nearby and played with his mobile phone. Zhang Chen is not interested in these famous brands. He has only bought clothes once since he had money. After a while, Chen Yin'er and Xu Wei came to Zhang Chen hand in hand. I asked you to choose clothes. Why did you come back empty-handed? Zhang Chen looked at the two girls with empty hands and couldn't help but ask curiously. Brother Zhang, the clothes here are really, too expensive. How about we change places? Mr. Zhang, I'm just going out for a walk with Yin'er. There's no need to buy anything for me. Chen Yin'er and Xu Wei explained at the same time. As a traditional luxury jewelry store, Burberry's prices are naturally high. The two girls shopped around and never saw any product worth less than 4 digits. The cheapest one is a knitted scarf, priced at 3,999 yuan. Chen Yin'er had just known Zhang Chen for 2 days and was embarrassed to ask for such a valuable thing. As for Xu Wei, even Chen Yin'er was embarrassed to ask Zhang Chen to spend money, let alone her. Forget it, let me choose. Zhang Chen saw the two girls' eyes lingering on those exquisite clothes, and instantly understood what they meant. Then he said to the shopping guide, bring over the most expensive products in your store. Shenhao never picks things when he buys them. Don't buy the right one, only buy the expensive one. If it weren't for his eye for the workplace, even Zhang Chen wouldn't believe that Xu Wei was still a baby. That stingy Sun Xing, relying on how handsome he is, wants to chase someone down without spending a penny. How can he be so stupid? He has never even touched his hand. Xu Wei seemed to understand Zhang Chen's doubts and quickly explained. After hearing Xu Hui's explanation, Zhang Chen suddenly realized. People call her a gold digger, so naturally she has to kneel before money. Since it won't affect the relationship between you and Yin'er, I'll give this dress to you, Zhang Chen promised. It's just more than 100,000 yuan worth of clothes. For Zhang Chen, it only takes a few breaths. Thank you, brother Zhang, Xu Wei said, directly placing her kiss on Zhang Chen's face. Xu Wei is not Chen Yin'er, and Zhang Chen doesn't have the time to play romantic with her. Before Xu Wei could get up, Zhang Chen gave her a backhand hug and took her directly into his arms. Then he kissed her lips that were as bright as fire. Green, clumsy, and a little sweet. At first glance, it seems that I have never experienced such a thing. Zhang Chen felt the feeling between his lips and teeth and completely believed Xu Hui's words. There is something unique about this money-worshipping girl. Feeling the fierce offensive from Zhang Chen, Xu Hui's eyes widened instantly, her expression was dull, and she responded passively. After a while, her face turned red. When Zhang Chen saw this, he knew that Xu Wei was suffocating, so he let her go. Brother Zhang, I'm a girl. At least you have to wait until we get to know each other. Xu Wei adjusted her makeup and gave Zhang Chen a resentful look. The more contact you have, the more familiar you will become. There is an old saying that describes how you will develop feelings after being together for a long time. Zhang Chen asked, pretending to be confused. Brother Zhang, that's called love for a long time, Xu Wei quickly replied. Yes, love grows over time. Zhang Chen laughed happily. At this time, Xu Wei realized that she had been tricked by Zhang Chen, and couldn't help but roll her eyes at Zhang Chen. Men are not bad, women are not loving. Men are bad and rich, and they are women's favorite. After a while, the door of the fitting room was pushed open from the inside, and Chen Yin'er walked out shyly wearing new clothes. A man relies on his clothes and a horse relies on his saddle. This is true at all. This set of white clothes seems to be specially made for Chen Yin'er, and it perfectly sets off Chen Yin'er's pure temperament. At this moment, Chen Yuyang looked like a princess coming out of a fairy tale. Chen Yin'er's beauty paired with this outfit made Zhang Chen instantly impressed. Previously, Chen Yinner could only score 9 points, and the remaining point was due to her appearance. Wow, Yinner, you are so beautiful. After seeing Chen Yinner's outfit, Shu Hui's eyes instantly turned cold, and she was secretly glad for her decision. Another set of red clothes is no worse than the one worn by Chen Yinner. If you wear it yourself, you will definitely look beautiful. Snap. Snap. Zhang Chen clapped his hands and couldn't help but praise. Yes, this dress really suits you. As long as brother Zhang thinks it looks good, Chen Yinner said very shyly. Her whole body was like a flower in bud, waiting for Zhang Chen's development. Wrap these 2 sets, I want them all, Zhang Chen said to the shopping guide. Brother Zhang, why do you want this outfit? Chen Yinner couldn't help but ask. She knew that the red dress didn't match her temperament and image. Isn't this your best friend? This red suit is a meeting gift from me to your best friend, Zhang Chen said truthfully. Oh, thank you, brother Zhang. Shu Wei looked at Chen Yinner with a guilty conscience, her eyes a little evasive. Yinner, I have benefited from you today. Otherwise, with Sun Xing's stingy behavior, I would never be able to wear such expensive clothes in my life. Clothes. Now Zhang Chen is Chen Yinner's man after all. As Chen Yinner's best friend, it is indeed unethical for her to take the initiative to hook up with Zhang Chen. But Shu Wei also has her own ideas. She and Zhang Chen are just getting what they need. Zhang Chen needs her beauty, but she covets Zhang Chen's money. Well, just take care of your kidneys, not your heart, and you must not interfere with Yinner and Zhang Chen's relationship. Shu Wei comforted herself in her heart. Chen Yinner has long been accustomed to Zhang Chen being generous, so she didn't think much about it and thanked Zhang Chen. Thank you, brother Zhang, for sending Shu Wei a gift. Hello, sir, since you spent more than 300,000 yuan in our store, you can come to our store for free dry cleaning in the next year. Please give me flowers. In addition, we will give you a 10% discount on this purchase, and we will charge you a total of 320,600. At this time, the shopping guide lady came over with a UnionPay receipt and asked Zhang Chen to sign it. While Zhang Chen was signing, Chen Yinner and Shu Wei were stunned. After discounts, it actually cost 326,000. Fortunately, Burberry gave me a year's fee, so I couldn't bear to wear them. After Zhang Chen signed, he asked Shu Wei to put on a red suit. Although Shu Wei felt a bit inferior to Chen Yinner after changing her clothes, Zhang Chen didn't care at all. After all, the two have different styles. Chen Yinner takes the pure route, while Shu Wei takes the sexy route. Chen Yinner should be treated with the same care as you would a greenhouse flower. For a sexy money-worshipping girl like Shu Wei, only by using the most wild and primitive means to completely conquer her can a man's vanity be satisfied. The shopping guide carefully wrapped the clothes the 2 girls had changed into, then bowed and watched the 3 of them leave the store. Shu Wei, I didn't expect you to have sex with a man behind my back. As soon as Zhang Chen led Chen Yinner and Shu Wei out of the store, he heard a man's roar. Looking around, I saw a man in a suit and leather shoes standing at the front of an Audi A4, looking at him angrily. This person is none other than Shu Hui's prospective boyfriend, Sun Xing. After Sun Xing learned that Shu Wei was dining at Wangfujing Western Restaurant, he immediately drove here, but Shu Wei had already left. Sun Xing searched around but couldn't find anyone, so he planned to leave. But when Sun Xing was about to drive away, he saw Shu Wei walking out of the Burberry store next to the Western Restaurant, holding a bag with the Burberry trademark in her hand. The most important thing is that Sun Xing saw that there was a man next to Shu Wei. Dressed up so sexy, she followed a man out, eat Western food and buy luxury jewelry. Even a fool can tell there's something going on here. With anger in his heart, Sun Xing roared involuntarily. In an instant, all the pedestrians on the pedestrian street stopped and looked at Sun Xing. Even more troublesome people took out their mobile phones and started shooting. Caught his woman seducing a man in public. This is so damn exciting, ding. The shopping guide was stunned for a moment, then her face was filled with joy. After visually checking the body sizes of Chen Yinner and Shu Wei, the shopping guide left for 3 minutes and returned with 2 sets in her arms. These 2 sets of clothes include hats, scarves, tops, trousers, women's leather shoes and handbags, making them a perfect outfit. Hello, sir, these 2 sets of clothing are the treasures of our store. From color to style, they're designed and matched by the internationally renowned stylist Mr. Stevenson. They're very consistent with the noble temperament of your 2 friends. Here. The shopping guide introduced with a smile, looking at Zhang Chen with a hint of expectation. Among the two sets of clothing, the cheapest gauze scarf costs 13,888 yuan. The total value of the two sets of clothing is as high as 100,000 yuan. If she can sign this big deal, she can get at least 20,000 yuan in commission. Zhang Chen looked at these two sets of clothes. One of the sets adopts a simple plain color matching style. A sweater is paired with a pleated skirt. White leather crystal-soled high heels are paired with a simple style handbag without any decoration. Although it does not look very luxurious, it can be just right. It brings out Chen Yiner's pure temperament. The other set adopts a coquettish red matching style, a hot tube top and backless red pleated dress, paired with a black lace hollow jacket on 827, and the polished red high heels, revealing a sense of style. Indescribably tempting. This set of clothes is simply designed specifically for Xu Wei, who has an open personality. It has to be said that Burberry's professionalism can even match the clothes so closely to the customer's style. Yiner, go and try this suit. Zhang Chen handed the white suit to Chen Yiner. Oops. This top costs 58,000. Chen Yiner took the clothes and glanced at the price tag of the sweater inadvertently. The next second, the whole person was so frightened that he almost threw this set of clothes away. A top costs 58,000 yuan, and this outfit costs more than 100,000 yuan. Mr. Zhang, this is too expensive. Chen Yiner panicked and put the clothes back. Even though she liked the clothes very much, she could only shake her head in rejection at this time. Although she originally planned to hug Zhang Chen's lap, she never expected that Zhang Chen would give her a set of clothes worth more than 100,000 yuan as soon as they started dating. This gift is too expensive for Chen Yiner. She dare not accept it. There is no precedent for taking back the things I sent out. Go quickly. Zhang Chen ordered Chen Yiner with a deliberately straight face. Oh, Yiner, this is Mr. Yang's kindness. If you don't accept it, Mr. Zhang will be angry. Xu Wei knew that rich people were very controlling and didn't like others going against his will, so he walked to Chen Yiner and persuaded her to take off her clothes. To be precise, Xu Wei has her own little plan, and another set of clothes is very close to her style. If Zhang Chen buys it, given Zhang Chen's generous character, he might give her this red dress. Lady, your boyfriend is really discerning. This suit perfectly suits your noble and pure temperament. The shopping guide lady also figured out the relationship between the three of them at this time, and stepped forward to persuade them together. When the shopping guide called her girlfriend, Chen Yiner's face instantly turned red. Chen Yiner took a secret look at Zhang Chen and found that Zhang Chen didn't give any explanation about his girlfriend's identity. It seemed that he accepted her identity by default. Brother Zhang, shall I give it a try? Chen Yiner lowered her head and asked timidly. Hurry up and try it. Zhang Chen urged Chen Yiner. Please come with me here, and I will take you to the fitting room. The shopping guide was afraid that Chen Yiner would regret it, so she quickly walked into the fitting room holding the white clothes. Brother Zhang, thank you. Chen Yiner kissed Zhang Chen excitedly, and then ran into the fitting room with a blushing face. After Chen Yiner and the shopping guide walked into the fitting room, only Zhang Chen and Xu Wei were left. Zhang Chen glanced at Xu Wei and found that the woman's eyes had been fixed on the red dress. CCCD, however, Zhang Chen didn't say much about this. Although he was rich, he was not taken advantage of. The reason why I gave Chen Yiner a gift was because the relationship between the two was just short of the last spark. A set of clothes costing more than 100,000 yuan in exchange for a top-notch girl. This deal is very worthwhile for Zhang Chen. But you, Xu Wei, are just Chen Yiner's best friend. You are nothing like me. Why should I give you clothes? To put it bluntly, even the hair salon ladies know how to exchange their bodies for money. You are a dignified college student, still dreaming of pie in the sky dreams? If you want clothes, you have to show sincerity. We are all adults and there is no need to play so many tricks. Zhang Chen is waiting for Xu Wei to take the initiative at this moment. From the moment they met until now, Xu Wei has only spoken a few words, and every time she spoke, she encouraged Chen Yiner to accept the benefits given by Zhang Chen. The money-worshipping temperament is clearly evident. And this set of clothing worth more than 100,000 yuan is an irresistible temptation for any woman. For a money-worshipping girl like Xu Wei, the effect of this set of clothes is even more obvious. Didn't you see that Xu Hui's eyes were looking straight at this moment? Mr. Zhang, This outfit is really pretty. As expected by Zhang Chen, after being reserved for a long time, Shu Fei sat down next to him without showing any emotion. Burberry is a big brand after all, but unfortunately, this outfit is too colorful and does not match Yinner's temperament. Zhang Chen shook his head pretending to be disappointed. Mr. Zhang, haven't you noticed that this set of clothes fits my personality very well? Shu Wei responded in a cooing voice. As she spoke, she deliberately lifted her loose hair and accidentally knocked off the shoulder strap of her dress. Her shoulders were half exposed, showing Zhang Chen a very alluring white color. Can't bear it, Zhang Chen curled his lips and secretly thought that he still underestimated the power of luxury jewelry. Unexpectedly, Shu Wei couldn't help it anymore. You are Yinner's best friend. If I give you something, I'm afraid Yinner will be jealous. Zhang Chen looked embarrassed and kept looking at Shu Hui's body. This kind of woman is delicate in appearance and calculating, so she is not suitable to be a girlfriend. It is suitable for sex friends who engage in money and sex transactions. Brother Zhang, don't worry, I won't let Yinner know, I will send it to you privately for personal viewing. Seeing Zhang Chen's hesitation, Shu Wei was secretly happy. There was something interesting about this. Shu Wei excitedly moved her body in front of Zhang Chen. The arms holding Zhang Chen kept swinging in front of her chest, and even the title changed. Brother Zhang, to be honest, I've always kept myself clean, but I'm still a mess now. Shu Wei leaned against Zhang Chen's ear and told her little secret with a shy look on her face. Zhang Chen glanced at Shu Wei in surprise, then lost his professional eye and realized that the other party was not lying. Brother Zhang, where should we go next? Chen Yinner wrapped her arms around Zhang Chen and asked in a low voice. You guys get in the car first, I will take you to a good place later, Zhang Chen said. Chen Yinner and Shu Wei nodded repeatedly and got into the Rolls-Royce very obediently. After the two girls got in the car, Zhang Chen walked to Sun Xing and said with a smile. Sorry, if you have money you can really do whatever you want. I'll take your girlfriend away first. After speaking, Zhang Chen got into the Rolls-Royce. You? Sun Xing was so angry that his body was shaking like chaff, and he subconsciously wanted to step forward and stop the car. Roll. Li Hu gently closed the car door for Zhang Chen, then suddenly turned around and glared at Sun Xing, his murderous intent clearly evident. Sun Xing had never seen Li Hu in such a formation before. He was so frightened that he couldn't walk even after being stared at. Waste. Li Hu glanced at Sun Xing disdainfully, then started the car and left slowly. Sun Xing was left in a mess. When the people around him saw this scene, instead of showing any sympathy, they looked at the joke coldly. If I could meet a wife as beautiful as 22, I would definitely have delicious food and drinks in my hands. This girl gave you a chance, but it's a pity that you didn't use it. In the car, Chen Qing and Shu Yi sat on either side of Zhang Chen. Chen Yinner is now Zhang Chen's girlfriend, so she can be in his arms openly. But Shu Wei couldn't do it. Zhang Chen didn't know what kind of medicine this money-worshipping girl had taken. She was not honest after getting in the car. She always secretly held his hand and touched him up and down. As a result, before Zhang Chen could react, Shu Hui's face turned red. Shu Wei, what's wrong with you? Chen Yinner saw Shu Wei and asked with concern. It's nothing, just a little motion sick. Just open the windows and let some air flow. Shu Wei lowered her head and made a mosquito-like buzz. Do you get motion sickness in this kind of car? Chen Yinner stroked the cotton soft seat and muttered with a puzzled expression. People who get carsick will get sick just by riding in a car. This has nothing to do with the quality of the military. Zhang Chen explained and wiped the water stains off Shu Hui's dress. This woman is really too crazy, I'm afraid it will be difficult to control her. The next time, Zhang Chen took the two girls to a watch store and bought Chen Yinner a Longines watch worth 200,000 yuan. At the same time, he also gave Shu Wei a niche watch worth 50,000 yuan on the grounds of giving a meeting gift. After buying the clothes, Zhang Chen sent Chen Yin and Shu back to the art academy. Under the reluctant eyes of the two girls, Zhang Chen got into the Rolls-Royce and left gracefully. Zhang Chen spent less than 700,000 yuan on Chen Yinner and Shu Wei that day, and in the end he won their hearts. 700,000 in exchange for two girls, this deal is very worthwhile for Zhang Chen. Whether it is Chen Yinner or Shu Wei, they are both rare and top-notch beauties, goddesses that ordinary people can only admire throughout their lives. And now, Chen owns two. Time flies, and a month has passed in the blink of an eye. During this month, Chen's daily job is to take Chen Yin'er and Xu Huaman around Nanchang. After a month of development, to be exact, the two girls surrendered instantly when faced with Chen's crazy money offensive. Even Xu Wei, who worships metal very much, now behaves like a loyal woman, loyal to Chen. Seeing all the changes in Xu Wei, Chen couldn't help but sigh with emotion. Money is the driving force for people's progress. The company has been renovated, right? I'll be there right away. Just when Chen was immersed in enjoying himself in his comfort zone, a call came from Li Wanqing. After Chen got an extra 3 million, Li Wanqing found 3 construction teams. Together with the original construction team, 4 construction teams started work at the same time, which cut the 2-month construction period by more than half. After hanging up the phone from Li Wanqing, Chen arrived at the Greenland building in a Rolls-Royce. And Li Wanqing had already been standing downstairs in the Greenland building, waiting for Chen to arrive later. Tiancheng Real Estate Company welcomes the chairman to visit and give guidance. Li Wanqing clapped her hands to welcome Chen's arrival. Now that everything is ready, it's time to recruit troops. Seeing Li Wanqing alone, Chen took out his cell phone and sent a message to the manager of Nanchang Labor Market, asking him to send some people over. Last time, after Chen recruited bodyguard Li Hu in the labor market, he tipped the marketing manager 10,000 yuan. After the marketing manager received the tip, he burst out laughing and licked Chen in the dark. It is said that as long as Chen says a word, he will not frown even if he goes up to the mountains or to the sea of fire. Because of this, Chen simply added the prestige of the human marketing manager, and it really worked today. Don't worry, Mr. Zhang. Just tell me what type of employees you need, and I guarantee that the task will be completed. Before Chen could turn off the phone screen, the marketing manager sent back a message in seconds. Regardless of type, don't care about salary, I want elites. After Chen sent the message, he transferred another 10,000 tip. Chen is not a stingy person, especially after he gets rich. You help me find someone, and I'll spend money on it for you. We don't owe each other anything. In another section, after the marketing manager saw the 10,000 yuan transferred from Chen, he took it without saying a word, and the corner of his mouth was so sharp that it reached the base of his neck. This 10,000 yuan is equivalent to 2 months of his salary. It's refreshing to do things for rich people. Having said that, Boss Zhang didn't talk about the type of recruitment, he just said he was recruiting elites, and even specially transferred 10,000 yuan in red envelopes to me. There is something wrong with this. After thinking for a long time, the marketing manager couldn't help but reveal a smile that only a man can understand. If Chen knew what the marketing manager was thinking, he would definitely take back the 10,000 tip in anger. The conscience of heaven and earth, he really just wants to find some workers to put on a facade. Chen considered that Tiancheng Real Estate would develop diversified in the future, so he planned to recruit elites from all walks of life into the company to reserve manpower in advance. After Chen finished giving instructions about recruiting workers, he and Li Wanqing walked up to the 36th floor. As soon as he stepped out of the elevator, Chen saw the entrance wall made of white marble. The 4 characters, Tiancheng Real Estate, are engraved on the wall. The handwriting is like a dragon and a snake. It seems that it was written by someone from a famous family. Bypassing the entrance wall is the company hall. In the center of the hall is a swimming pool, and the surrounding area of the swimming pool is divided into 6 rooms. Mr. Zhang, these 6 rooms include 4 presidential suites, a game room, and an SP room. They are completely decorated according to your original design. Looking at the office that was turned into a leisure and entertainment center, Li Wanqing introduced with a dumbfounded look. Xu Wei has big waves and wears a sexy tube top and backless dress, paired with a pair of red high heels. This image gives people the impression of a scumbag. Look at Chen standing aside, with fair skin and handsome appearance. This is obviously a typical pretty boy. The scumbag cheated on the pretty boy, but her boyfriend caught her. The onlookers who thought they knew the truth of the matter looked at Xu Wei with contempt and kept pointing. I already have a boyfriend, and I dress up so coquettishly and go shopping with other men. Bah! It's disgusting to think about a scumbag girl paired with a pretty boy. Jia Niang is not a good person at first glance. Listening to the dirty sounds around her, Shu Hui's pretty face turned pale. Women all care about reputation, even Shu Wei, a money-worshipping girl. What's more, Zhang Chen is still around. If it affects his impression in Zhang Chen's heart, it will be completely over. Sun Xing. What do you mean? Shu Wei didn't expect that Sun Xing would really come. Looking at the dress she just put on, she felt a little guilty. However, Shu Wei, as a money-worshipping girl, was not a good person. She immediately turned from passive to active and retorted. Mr. Zhang is Yinner's boyfriend, and I am Yinner's best friend. Is there anything wrong with me hanging out with her? I never expected that in your mind, I am just a scumbag who flirts with your best friend's boyfriend. Sun Xing was excited just now, but after being reminded by Shu Wei, he noticed that Chen Yinner was also there. When Sun Xing saw Chen Yinner, a lustful look flashed through his eyes. Zhang Chen, who is also a man, noticed Sun Xing's strangeness very keenly, and a sneer appeared on the corner of his mouth. This Sun Xing is not a good bird. Then what's going on with your clothes? Sun Xing reluctantly looked away from Chen Yinner, pointed at the Burberry dress Shu Wei was wearing, and asked. This is a meeting gift from Mr. Zhang. If you don't give me a gift, why don't you allow me to accept gifts from others? Shu Wei was unreasonable and became more and more forceful as she spoke. The clothes Mr. Zhang gave me are 158,000 yuan after discount. Aren't you unwilling to let me accept other people's gifts? You can use these 15,000 yuan right now. If Wanba is returned to Mr. Zhang, it will be treated as if you bought the clothes. Shu Wei, that's not what I meant. As soon as Sun Xing heard that Shu Wei wanted him to pay, his momentum softened instantly. Sun Xing was just greedy for Shu Hui's beauty and wanted to have sex for free. Just as he was stingy to begin with, dating Shu Wei for 2 years only spent more than 1,000 yuan. How could he be willing to spend more than 10 yuan to buy clothes for Shu Wei at this time? TCH, if you don't want to pay, just leave. Don't disturb Yinner and I from shopping. Shu Wei urged impatiently, feeling increasingly disgusted with the stingy Sun Xing. My own women are wearing clothes given by other men, and they don't even fart. Really not a man. Mr. Zhang, right? Shu Wei is my girlfriend. Don't think that you can do whatever you want just because you have a few real money. Sun Xing was speechless by Shu Wei, so he could only point his finger at Zhang Chen next to him. Zhang Chen couldn't help being slightly stunned when he heard this. Is this considered picking up the soft persimmons? Originally, Zhang Chen had no intention of intervening in the affairs of Shu Wei and Sun Xing. After all, these two people have neither the name nor the reality of being a couple. It all depends on Shu Hui's own choice. But now that he was being threatened in person, Zhang Chen naturally stood idly by. However, before Zhang Chen could speak, Shu Wei stood up first, pointed at Sun Xing and angrily shouted, Sun Xing, we have been dating for 2 years, apart from giving me dozens of yuan in roses. Have you ever given me anything my other gifts? It's okay for us two to go out to eat. Why do you ask me to pay cash, but you use a 50% off coupon? As soon as Shu Wei said this, the onlookers realized that they had misunderstood Shu Wei. If you put yourself in someone else's shoes, if you had such a stingy boyfriend, you would have broken up with her a long time ago. Thinking of this, everyone looked at Sun Xing with great disdain. When I take my girlfriend out to eat, I still have to pay for the AA fee, and then I ask my girlfriend to cash in, but I use the 50% off coupon. This stingy operation is really too sexy. Beauty, you have such a stingy boyfriend, why don't you break up and keep him for the new year? Sister, I've been here before. This kind of man is unreliable. Let's break up now. To put it bluntly, it costs hundreds of dollars to find a young lady these days. It's a good idea for you to pay for it with both food and sex. I would rather demolish 10 temples than ruin 1 marriage. However, when the crowd watching the excitement learned that Sun Xing was so stingy, they couldn't stand it anymore and tried to persuade the two to break up. What's the matter with you? Go. 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 Sun Xing angrily waved his hands at the crowd around him and cursed angrily. Zhang Chen sneered and rang Li Hu's phone. After a while, a Rolls-Royce slowly stopped in front of Zhang Chen. The bright silver Statue of Liberty on the front of the car shone in the sunlight, extremely dazzling. Immediately afterwards, Li Hu, wearing sunglasses, a suit, and white gloves, got out of the car, opened the rear door, and bowed to Zhang Chen. Mr. Zhang, Gui, After the onlookers saw the iconic limited edition Rolls-Royce, they immediately exploded. "Oh my god, isn't this car the limited edition Rolls-Royce that was sold at the Honggu Auto Show a few days ago? I heard the transaction price was 45 million. I heard that the mysterious car owner also bought a Lafa before buying this car. It seems that he spent a total of more than 70 million. Is it possible that this young man is the mysterious car owner? I spent more than 70 million to buy a car." Sun Xing was completely dumbfounded. At first, he just thought Zhang Chen was a rich second generation with a little money. Who would have expected that Zhang Chen spent 77 million on the car alone? You know, the richest man in Nanchang City ranks 10th on the 4.7 list, and his net worth is only 100 million. Thinking of this, Sun Xing couldn't help but start to regret. It's a pity that I just threatened Zhang Chen not to think that just because he has two bad guys, he can do whatever he wants. Compared with Zhang Chen, I am worse than a beggar. Just buying the car cost more than 77 million. Xu Wei, a money-worshipping girl, instantly shined in her eyes. Others may not know, but Xu Wei knows it very well. Zhang Chen is the owner of this car. Zhang Chen spent 77 million just to buy a car, so how much is his net worth? If I could become Zhang Chen's mistress, wouldn't I have nothing to worry about in my life? With Zhang Chen's appearance and financial resources, there must be many women around him, so I must perform well. Xu Wei kept telling herself in her heart. Li Wanqing followed Zhang Chen's instructions, and the 4 presidential suites can be said to be built 1-to-1 according to the executive-level presidential suites of the Binhu Hotel. "Mr. Zhang, let's rent out these 4 presidential suites," Li Wanqing couldn't help but suggest. You must know that the price of an executive-level presidential suite at the Binhu Hotel is 15,810 per night. If rented out at this price, the 4 presidential suites would bring Tiancheng Real Estate a net income of more than 23 million yuan every year. We run a real estate company, not a hotel. This presidential suite is exclusively for employees, Zhang Chen replied speechlessly. From a work perspective, Li Wanqing is indeed a rare good employee who is always thinking about maximizing interests for her boss. But Zhang Chen thinks that Li Wanqing's typical structure is too small. For Zhang Chen, 20 million is nothing more than 2 days of system income. If we can rely on Tiancheng Real Estate to maximize the operation of the red-headed documents for school district housing renovation obtained from the system, the revenue generated will be in the hundreds of millions. While talking, Zhang Chen saw that there was a separate small private room inside the presidential suite. When he opened the door, he saw a bowling and indoor golf room inside. Well done. Zhang Chen's eyes lit up and he praised him. At first, Zhang Chen looked at these 4 presidential suites and felt something was wrong, but he couldn't explain it. But when Zhang Chen saw the bowling ball and golf, he immediately remembered it. What's bad about Tiancheng Real Estate is its temperament. Just because of the addition of this golf and bowling set, you will instantly look taller. Don't all the rich people in TV dramas like this? They have indoor golf in the office, and then listen to the hernia reports of their subordinates while playing golf. Zhang Chen picked up the golf club and made an unstandardized swing. Wanqing, please make a report now. What report? Report something casually, such as the general situation of the company. Li Wanqing. I am the only one in the company, what else can happen? Besides, I live, eat and sleep at your house, all I have to do is sleep in the same bed with you. What's going on with me that you don't know yet? Unable to experience the feeling of being a boss from Li Wanqing, Zhang Chen had no choice but to insert the golf club back angrily and continue to visit other parts of the company. After Zhang Chen visited the company, his cell phone rang. The Human Resources Marketing Manager sent a message saying that all the people had been found and wanted the application address. Zhang Chen directly sent the company location of Tiancheng Real Estate. Half an hour later, more than 30 well-dressed applicants arrived at Tiancheng Real Estate. These people include men and women, old and young, all of whom are elites from all walks of life. When these people walked out of the elevator and saw the entrance wall carved with white marble, their faces were extremely shocked. No one expected that Tiancheng Real Estate would be such a majestic company. The front door wall alone was made of white marble, and the 4 gilt characters, Tiancheng Real Estate, on the jade stone gave people an indescribable sense of generosity. It is no exaggeration to say that the value of this welcoming wall alone has far exceeded the market value of those small companies. You are here to apply, right? The chairman is already waiting for you. Li Wanqing smiled slightly after seeing these people. Under the leadership of Li Wanqing, everyone walked around the white marble door wall and saw the company's layout. Beauty, our company is not engaged in real estate, why is it now engaged in leisure? Some of the applicants inquired in advance about the nature of the company of Chung Real Estate, which belongs to the real estate development industry. But inside the company there is a swimming pool, a sulfur monophosphide, and a presidential suite, complete with food, drinks, and entertainment, except that there are no office facilities. This place is not engaged in real estate, it is clearly engaged in entertainment and leisure. This is the design style of our company, which makes the work of all employees a kind of enjoyment. All employees who join Chung Real Estate can enjoy all the entertainment facilities within the company for free. Li Wanqing said with a professional smile. Explained to everyone. Wow! You can get free spa beauty treatments when you work here. I'm willing to work here even if I don't get paid. This isn't work, it's just enjoyment. There is actually an internet cafe. From now on, I will live in the company. When these interviewers learned that as long as they became employees of Chung Real Estate, they could enjoy these entertainment facilities for free, they became excited instantly. If you want to join Chung Real Estate, you need to go through the chairman's interview. Please follow me. Li Wanqing said, and brought these people into the presidential suite marked with the chairman's office. As soon as they walked in, these applicants saw a scene they would never forget. In the presidential suite, a young man wearing casual sportswear was seen holding a golf club and swinging it hard. That strong back shows elegance and nobility. Look, this is the real rich man. Chairman, the candidates have been brought. Li Wanqing faced Zhang Chen's back and bowed slightly to report. Everyone, please take a seat and introduce yourselves one by one. Zhang Chen said without looking back, and while speaking, he took advantage of the situation and swung a powerful shot. Zhang Chen now has the eye of the workplace rewarded by the system. Even if these applicants lie, Zhang Chen can still clearly see their details. Fortunately, the presidential guest room is large enough. There are more than 10 large and small sofas alone. 30 job seekers can sit there separately, so it doesn't seem crowded. Hello, Chairman, my name is Hu Haitian. I am a programmer. My specialty is various network attacks and defenses. A fat man wearing a plaid shirt and large round glasses stood up and introduced himself respectfully to Zhang Chen's back. Every otaku is not necessarily a programmer, but every programmer is definitely an otaku, and Hu Haitian is no exception. Hu Haitian, who focused on typing code, was not good at communicating with others, Wang Zhao, so he devoted all his spare time to video games. When Hu Haitian entered the game room of Chung Real Estate and saw the most advanced VR game equipment on the market, he made a decision in his heart and decided to stay with Chung Real Estate no matter what. Hello, Chairman, my name is Chen Li. I have a PhD from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I am a legal consultant. My specialty is proficiency in law. Just as Hu Haitian sat down, a young woman in her early 30s and wearing a workplace uniform stood up behind her. At first, Chen Li only heard that Chung Real Estate's salary was very high, and the monthly salary of ordinary bodyguards started at 30,000, so she came to take a look out of curiosity. But when she saw that Chung Real Estate had prepared an SP beauty parlor for its employees, she was instantly shocked. Chen Li's mind automatically filled in a scene of herself doing SP and signing various legal documents, and she was very happy. The picture is so beautiful, I feel envious just thinking about it. Zhang Chen looked slightly surprised after hearing Chen Li's self-introduction. He didn't expect that the human marketing manager would find such a treasure. A doctor of law who graduated from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology is highly sought after no matter where he is placed. As a real estate development company, Chung Real Estate, whether it is acquiring land or building real estate, must sign a contract at every step. Even if there is even one missing number or punctuation mark in the contract, it may cause immeasurable huge losses to Chung Real Estate. To prevent this from happening, Chung Real Estate must form a legal team led by a lawyer. Thinking of this, Zhang Chen put down his golf club, turned around and threw a professional eye at Chen Li, and found that the other party did not lie about his resume. Character: Chen Li. Gender: female, virgin, suitable occupation, lawyer. Career potential: 5 stars, 5 stars or full stars. Comment: he has a PhD in mathematics and has been working as a lawyer for 5 years with no record of losing a lawsuit. It is recommended to recruit him as an employee. Compared with Chen Lina, who has a PhD in mathematics and engineering, her 5-year career record of no losing cases and her 467 career potential rated full marks by the system are more worthy of Zhang Chen's attention. Even the system recommended Zhang Chen to recruit him as an employee. If you can recruit talents like Chen Li into the company, if you don't like anyone in the future, you can directly send a lawyer's letter to him, and you will definitely sue someone who doesn't even know his mother. The only thing that surprised Zhang Chen was that in the system evaluation, Chen Li was still a virgin. Chen Li should be very nurturing on weekdays. Although she is in her early 30s, her skin is fairer than that of a girl, and her handsome face exudes the aura of an intellectual beauty. Pair it with a pair of gold-rimmed glasses to match your workplace attire. Waving his hands exudes an aura of female hormones that makes all men protest and resist. Such a beautiful lady will definitely be pursued by many people. Why is she still a virgin? For a moment, Zhang Chen couldn't help but become curious about this woman's private life. Go on, next one. Li Wanqing stepped forward and lit a Cohiba cigar for Zhang Chen, signaling the interviewer behind to continue. Hello, Chairman, my name is Guo Meili. I am a masseur. My specialty is long legs and a long tongue. Just when Zhang Chen was about to take a puff of his cigar, a timid voice came over and almost choked him. What are the leg lengths? CCBC, tongue specialty. Where did this god come from? Chung Real Estate is a legitimate real estate company. Zhang Chen looked back and suddenly felt a sense of familiarity when he saw Guo Meili's appearance. Think again. Wasn't this the big wave of applicants when we last recruited bodyguards? After learning about Guo Meili's career, the job seekers around him also divided into two groups. One group, led by Chen Li, was a group of women who quietly dodged away. The other group were the men who came to apply for the job, and they showed a tacit smile that all men understood. It's good to have a long tongue. In addition to these two groups of people, there is still Hu Haitian, a programmer who does not know the style. At this time, he was sitting on the sofa, supporting his chin with his hands, thinking about various codes and game strategies. Miss, we are a regular company, Zhang Chen said helplessly. Chairman, I am also a regular masseur, and all the irregular ones are here. Guo Meili explained quickly. Guo Meili had long been accustomed to Zhang Chen's misunderstanding, and there was no strange color on her face. Whenever people talk about masseurs, they always put on colored glasses. 9 out of 10 men want to find an irregular masseur, and the remaining one does so because he doesn't have enough money. Guo Meili refused to go to sea, so she has been unemployed to this day. The reason why I came to Tiancheng Real Estate to apply for a job was because I saw Zhang Chen recruiting bodyguards last time and the salary promised was too much. Even bodyguards can receive a salary of 30,000 yuan. Even if I work in some clerical jobs, it will not be much lower. Zhang Chen looked at Guo Meili dressed in a big wave, and he didn't believe that he was looking at the workplace. Character. Guo Meili gender. Female, virgin, suitable occupation, masseur. Career potential. 3 stars, 5 stars or full stars. Evaluation. An ordinary woman with a bit of beauty can barely be recruited as an employee. Regarding the systematic evaluation, Zhang Chen can understand that Guo Meili is just a vase and not of much use. The company still needs a front desk, so you can stay. 21. Seeing that Guo Meili was not lying, Zhang Chen agreed. Anyway, Tiancheng Real Estate has a great business, and Guo Meili's pair of chopsticks is not lacking. Thank you, Chairman, for giving me the opportunity. I will definitely work hard. Guo Meili was overjoyed. Although the position arranged by Zhang Chen was not in line with her major, she still thanked her repeatedly. A farce was staged, but the subsequent applicants were quite well behaved and there was no big mess. After all the more than 30 job seekers had introduced themselves, Zhang Chen recruited 20 of them into the company according to their occupations. Since these 20 people are elites in various industries, Tiancheng Real Estate has just started, and there is no need for the skills these people are said to be good at. Zhang Chen simply divided them into 5 departments. Department of Commerce. General Manager Li Wanqing serves as a part-time minister and is responsible for the general coordination and future development planning of Tiancheng Real Estate. Legal Department. Chen Li serves as the director and is responsible for the review and signing of all contracts and legal documents of the company. Sales Department. Wang Jiaming serves as the director, responsible for the company's real estate sales and other sales. Technology Department. Hu Haitian serves as the director, responsible for the company's network security and providing various after-sales services to the sales department. Finance Department. Zhao Wenjuan serves as the director, responsible for the wages of all employees of the company and various taxes. The rest of the people are temporarily divided into departments of these 5 people based on their respective specialties. Wang Jiaming and Zhao Wenjuan were temporarily promoted by Zhang Chen. Wang Jiaming is a middle-aged man in his 40s. When he introduced himself, he only said less than 5 sentences and attracted Zhang Chen's attention. This shows how terrifying it is. Zhao Wenjuan is an accounting master who has obtained both CPA and ACCA accounting certificates. It has to be said that although the human marketing manager has a relatively unique brain circuit, his work efficiency is not to be said. If Zhang Chen was asked to find them, it would take at least a month to find all these talents. Zhang Chen left 5 ministers behind, and then asked the others to go back first and come back to the company tomorrow to formally join the company. After the others left, Zhang Chen knocked on the table, attracting the attention of the 5 people. You 5 are the first batch of management of Tiancheng Real Estate. First of all, as chairman, I welcome you to join the big family of Tiancheng Real Estate. Wow! As soon as Zhang Chen finished speaking, the 5 ministers applauded. I'm going to make a long story short and talk about everyone's treatment first. Zhang Chen waved his hand to signal everyone to quiet down. In an instant, the 5 ministers stopped applauding and then focused their attention on Zhang Chen. Salary and benefits are what they care about most. Except for Li Wanqing, the other 4 ministers did not know much about the salary and benefits of Tiancheng Real Estate. The reason why they came to Tiancheng Real Estate for an interview was entirely because of the words of the human marketing manager. The boss of Tiancheng Real Estate is very generous and offers a salary of 30,000 yuan to the bodyguards, and the salary of the bodyguard captain is as high as 100,000 yuan. He is now considered a company minister. No matter how low his salary is, it will not be lower than that of an ordinary bodyguard. Under the expectant eyes of the 4 ministers, Zhang Chen slowly said, "Since Tiancheng Real Estate has just started, everyone's salary is the same for the time being, with a monthly salary of 100,000. In the future, adjustments will be made to varying degrees based on each person's ability and work content." The 4 ministers were instantly stunned. This is a real annual salary of 1 million. Even Chen Li, a lawyer, and Zhao Wenjuan, an accountant, had the highest salary in their last job, which was less than 100,000 yuan. An annual salary of 1 million is already the salary ceiling that most employees can reach. If you want to make more money, you can only start your own business. However, according to Zhang Chen, the annual salary of 1 million is just their initial stage, and will only continue to increase in the future, not decrease. Among the 4 people, the happiest one is Sales Director Wang Jiaming. Sales salary is divided into 2 parts: basic salary and commission. For Wang Jiaming, Zhang Chen actually gave him a basic salary of 100,000. By the way, you all have cars, right? Zhang Chen asked casually, looking at his men who were about to burst into laughter. Mercedes-Benz C-Class, BMW 3 Series, Audi A4. No, the 4 ministers responded quickly. No need to ask, the one without a car must be Hu Haitian, a technical geek. Let's set a standard in the future. Employees at the company's ministerial level and above will each be equipped with an Audi A8. As for Wan Qing, you drive my Lamborghini Hurricane first. Even his bodyguard drives an Audi A6L. The company's managers drive cars that are at least higher end than the Audi A5. Ever since Zhang Chen bought a Rafa and a Rolls-Royce, the Lamborghini Hurricane had been sitting in the garage waiting to collect dust, and Li Wanqing could use it to drive it. As soon as these words came out, the 5 ministers, including Li Wanqing, were immediately shocked. The lowest spec Audi A8 costs over RMB 800,000, and the floor stand costs at least RMB 900,000. As for the Hurricane given to Li Wanqing, it is a luxury car priced at nearly 5 million. 4 Audi A8s plus 1 Lamborghini, this is a small amount of 100 million. How can you say this boss is grand? He is clearly inhumane. Mr. Zhang, you are too. Li Wanqing wanted to dissuade Zhang Chen. It hadn't officially opened yet, and Zhang Chen spent a small amount of 10 million just by saying a few words. If the company becomes bigger in the future, it will be okay. Just implement it. If you need money, just say it. Our Chung Real Estate is also a large real estate development company after all. There is no need to delay the meeting for such a small amount of money. Zhang Chen directly interrupted Li Wanqing's words and said nonchalantly. If we have that time, it would be better to implement the plan to acquire housing in the number 27 middle school district as soon as possible. By purchasing 20 more houses, the 10 million will be earned. Naturally, the 5 ministers had no idea about Zhang Chen's plan and could only look at Zhang Chen speechlessly. 10 million is a small amount of money. If you are so pretentious, how should you continue? Your remuneration has been roughly decided like this. As for how social security and other things should be handled, do you have any objections? Zhang Chen asked. No. The 5 ministers shook their heads and expressed no objection. With an annual salary of 1 million and $1 million luxury car, wouldn't it mean that if you have any objections, you will go to heaven? Chairman, don't worry. I will definitely dedicate myself to the company and work hard for the company. I will definitely not let down the chairman's good intentions. Wang Jiaming from the sales department stood up first and expressed his stance very solemnly. Zhang Chen couldn't help but look at Wang Jiaming twice and nodded with satisfaction. Just look at people's awareness and enthusiasm for flattering, they are born to be sales materials. With Wang Jiaming taking the lead, the other 3 ministers also expressed their opinions one after another. Chairman, don't worry, I will definitely do my best to create benefits for the company. The person who said this was Finance Minister Zhao Wenjuan. With her knowledge, it is not difficult to take advantage of loopholes in the law and legally avoid taxes. Chairman, don't worry, as long as I'm here, no one will be able to get the idea of Chung Real Estate. Chen Li also followed suit. Chairman, whatever you ask me to do from now on, I will do it. It was Hu Haitian who said this. Well, for a technical geek, being able to flatter someone is already good enough, but don't expect him to be so loud. Zhang Chen nodded with satisfaction, his face flushed. It's worth $10 million. If you want employees to contribute wholeheartedly to the company, you must show corresponding performance. Zhang Chen has always felt contempt for those companies that use the wolf culture as an excuse to exploit their employees every day. We are all adults, so we are playing the chicken soup for the soul routine. Everyone is quiet, let me talk about the company's next development goals. Zhang Chen cleared his throat, and the 5 ministers were silent for a moment, like good babies, looking at Zhang Chen without saying a word. In another half-month, the relevant departments will announce to the public the plan to relocate Nanchang No. 27 Middle School to Shimao Road. By then, housing prices around Shimao Road will also rise, at least 3 times. What Zhang Chen has to do is to use this time difference to acquire as many old communities on Shimao Road as possible. Of course, this secret belonging to Zhang Chen must be told to the 5 ministers in a different way. Except for the legal department who stayed in the company to draw up the housing transaction contract, the rest of the people were all on Shimao Road to acquire the real estate there, charging as much as they wanted. It doesn't matter if there is a slight premium. Zhang Chen ordered to the 5 ministers. Chairman, my home is on Shimao Road. There are all old communities there. House prices have been falling in the past 2 years. You will definitely lose money if you buy the real estate there. As soon as Zhang Chen finished speaking, Chen Li stood up to dissuade him. In the past 2 years, Nanchang has been planning to develop to the north. Shimao Road is almost to the South Ring Road, so there is no acquisition value. A friend of mine is from the construction committee. When I was having a drink with him some time ago, I heard him say that the higher authorities are interested in building a new development zone in Beiwan. If we invest in Beiwan, we will definitely make a profit. Li Wenjuan and Wang Jiaming also echoed. Hu Haitian was the only one who remained silent, not because he didn't want to talk, but because he usually faced codes most of the time and didn't understand these practical matters of people's livelihood. Even if I want to speak, I can't get a word in. From now on, the development of the company will be up to me. You just need to find a way to implement it, that's it. Zhang Chen also knew that there was no way to explain, so he could only be a dictator and make decisions on the spot, without giving the 5 ministers a chance to raise objections. Chairman, don't worry, we will definitely implement this matter as soon as possible. Li Wanqing, who had been silent until now, suddenly stood up and expressed her stance. She suddenly remembered something. The last time Zhang Chen acquired Hengyuan Road, it was not favored by others. As a result, Nanchang No. 10 Middle School moved to Hengyuan Road not long after. The real estate on Hengyuan Road suddenly became a hot school district property, and the house price nearly tripled in an instant. And because she chose to trust Zhang Chen, she gritted her teeth and bought 2 houses on Hengyuan Road in installments, and ended up making 2 million. What if Zhang Chen gets the news in advance again this time? With this idea in mind, Li Wanqing secretly made up her mind to follow in Zhang Chen's footsteps and buy a few houses on Shimao Road. Even if he loses money, he will lose money from the last time he bought a house with 230 Zhang Chen. The chairman makes the decision, and the general manager expresses his support, so there is no room for the minister to speak. In response, the 4 ministers could only nod in agreement. Chen Li said on the spot that she would sell her house to the company at the market price of 6,010 square meters, and then add some money to buy a house near Victory Square. If someone gives you money, Zhang Chen will definitely be willing to accept it. Early the next morning, after completing the onboarding procedures for 20 employees, Chen Li led the employees of the legal department to formulate a housing transaction contract. Less than half an hour after the first house transaction contract was printed out, it was signed by Chen Li. Subsequently, except for 5 legal department employees who stayed in the company, the rest all took contracts and integrated into various communities on Shimao Road. There are 20 communities on Shimao Road, and there are at least 2,000 units of real estate. The 15 employees of Tiancheng Real Estate are simply not enough. I'm afraid that before Zhang Chen purchased a few houses, the news about the relocation of No. 27 Middle School to Shimao Road was announced. By then, no fool will know how to sell their house. What's more, there will be a foreign language school with a larger program in a month. Recruiting people, we must recruit people. Thinking of this, Zhang Chen once again sent a message to the human marketing manager, asking him to find another 100 people. By the way, Zhang Chen once transferred a tip of 10,000 yuan. Don't worry, brother Zhang, I promise to complete the task. Salute. JPG. Look, this is the power of money. Not only does it reply instantly, but it also adds facial expressions. After a day of running around, the 5 ministers gathered in the company with a day's work report. Chairman, our sales department has negotiated 10 properties today, and they will be transferred tomorrow. The technical department has negotiated 8 packages. The finance department has negotiated 12 packages. Wang Jiaming, Hu Haishan and Li Wenjuan reported today's results in turn. 30 sets a day is not enough. Zhang Chen frowned slightly. It would take less than 10 days for the higher-ups to start the migration of No. 27 Middle School. In other words, Zhang Chen can only use it for 10 days at most. According to the current progress, he can purchase up to 300 sets in 10 days. Wan Qing, how much did you collect at Shimao North Street today? Zhang Chen noticed that Li Wanqing had not reported anything and asked directly. Shimao Road is a north-south road, and Shimao North Street is relatively prosperous, so house prices are high and low. Because of this, Zhang Chen was afraid that the other 3 ministers could not decide the price, so he specially sent Li Wanqing to buy the house on Shimao North Street. Mr. Zhang, today I was purchasing real estate on Shimao North Street. However, when I took people to Shimao North Street, all the properties listed for sale on North Street had been purchased. The remaining properties were either because the owner did not want to sell them, or it's because the asking price is too high. Li Wanqing reported with a confused look. A street that was almost classified as a suburb of Nanchang City has now become a popular street, and people are still rushing to buy it. Zhang Chen frowned when he heard Li Wanqing's report. A competitor appears. The system rewarded Zhang Chen with a red-headed document 2 months ago. Now that it has been less than 10 days since Nanchang No. 27 Middle School was moved, the red-headed document has probably begun to circulate in various units. The mysterious person who purchased the real estate on Shimao North Street must have learned the news in advance, so he purchased the real estate on Shimao Road at a price exceeding the market price. I believe it won't be long before more people get this news. By then, it will not be so easy to acquire real estate on Shimao Road. Ignore him for now. From today on, you will focus on acquiring real estate on World Trade South Street. If you encounter someone rushing to buy it, notify me immediately. Zhang Chen gave instructions to the 4 ministers, then took out his mobile phone and clicked on the small group of rich second-generation people in Nanchang City. Ever since Zhang Chen stood up for Zhang Shui last time, he has completely integrated into the circle of rich second-generation people in Nanchang City, and was then pulled into this group. Apart from giving out tens of thousands of red envelopes when he joined the group, Chen has not spoken to anyone yet. Who is in the group? Chen sent a message. Shui. Brother Zhang, I'm here, is there something wrong? Fang Yugong. Brother Cao Zhang is willing to give up. Brothers, hurry up and pick up the guests. The originally peaceful group suddenly became agitated because of Chen's appearance. Has your family purchased any real estate on Shimao Road? Chen asked straight to the point. Although housing prices on Shimao Road are cheap, they cost at least 6,000 per square meter. Most people don't have the financial resources to buy properties on Shimao Road. When Chen listened to Li Wanqing's report, the first thing he thought of was that the wealthy people in Nanchang City were making secret acquisitions. Shui. Our family has never been involved in real estate. Fang Yugong. Shimao Road has almost been zoned to the suburbs. No fool would buy a house in that place. Zhou Qingyang. Brother Zhang, the entertainment club run by my younger brother has been closed down. Can you find the person? After reading everyone's speeches, Chen frowned even more tightly. The person who purchased the real estate on Shimao Road has nothing to do with the local wealthy people in Nanchang City. Most of these rich second generations are only sons. Their families have mobilized a large amount of assets to acquire real estate. They must know it. Who could it be? Chen thought for a long time and simply stopped thinking about it. 3.7. No matter who he is, if he dares to steal business from me, I guarantee that he will lose all his pants. At the same time, Binhu Hotel. Ayu, how much money do we have left? Chen Yuhao stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling window with red wine in hand, looking at the busy traffic in Nanchang City, feeling extremely happy. In just 2 days, he acquired 100 properties on Shimao Road. 10 days later, when the news spreads, the value of these shabby houses will at least triple. Master, we still have 5,000 watts of funds left in our hands. The assistant stood beside Chen Yuhao and bowed to answer. Continue to collect and spend all the 50 million. Buy as much real estate as you can on Shimao Road, Chen Yuhao said seriously. After I complete the group's mission, I will settle the score with you. Chen Yuhao came to Nanchang City for 2 main tasks this time. The first task is to get Zhang Shui. The second task is because of Chen Shikong, chairman of Best Group, who is Chen Yuhao's father. Not long ago, I received news that the nature of the land in Nanchang City will undergo large-scale changes. In order for Chen Yuhao to better take over the Best Group in the future, Chen Yuhao was allowed to come to Nanchang City with an activity capital of 100 million to experience. It's said to be experience, but it's actually just gold plating. Chen Yuhao only needs to follow the document plan to acquire old properties that will be planned as school district housing. This is a sure profit deal. The next day, Zhang Chen appeared in front of a community called Yan New Home on Shimao Road, followed by Wang Jiaming. Old Wang. Where is Boss Li now? Zhang Chen looked up at the 10-story building in front of him and asked without looking back. The 6th boss is the owner of this building. Due to problems with the capital chain of other industries under his control, he plans to sell this building from rent to cash flow. 22. The construction area of each floor of this building is 280 square meters, and there are 10 floors in total, which is 2,800 square meters. Based on the average price of real estate on Shimao Road, which is 6,100 square meters, this building is worth more than 1.6 million. It was precisely because the amount was too large that Wang Jiaming couldn't make up his mind, so he invited Zhang Chen over. Wang Jiaming quickly took out his mobile phone to contact Boss Lu. After some inquiries, he hung up the phone and said, Chairman, Boss Li is on the way and will be here in 5 minutes. Well, the deal is settled and I'll give you a bonus. Zhang Chen nodded with satisfaction. 10 days later, when the news about the school district housing plan is announced, the housing prices here will triple. In other words, this building, currently worth 16 million, will appreciate to 50 million in 10 days. Zhang Chen didn't need to do anything, just flip his hands left and right, and made a net profit of more than 30 million. The chairman's words are serious. This is all my responsibility and what I should do, Wang Jiaming said humbly. Wang Jiaming just saw the information about Boss Lu's real estate sale in the intermediary and conveyed it to Zhang Chen. If you can get a basic salary of 100,000 yuan for doing these jobs, it is already almost as high as the sky. How dare you ask for commissions? While the two were talking, a middle-aged man with a big belly, a Mediterranean Sea on his head, and a briefcase under his arm walked over. Manager Wang, I've kept you waiting for a long time. The middle-aged man greeted Wang Jiaming with a smile. He was the Liu Kai who Wang Jiaming said wanted to sell the entire building. Boss Liu, let me introduce to you. This is our chairman of Tiancheng Real Estate, Zhang Chen, Mr. Zhang. Wang Jiaming pointed at Zhang Chen and introduced Liu Kai. The latter couldn't help being slightly stunned, then quickly took out a pack of Chinese red, handed it to Zhang Chen, and said hello with a smile. Hello, Mr. Zhang. Zhang Chen looks like he is only in his 20s, but it is really surprising that he can spend 16 million. What's more, spending 16 million to buy old houses on Shimao Road that are losing value day by day. Chairman, this is the boss Liu I told you about, Wang Jiaming introduced. Zhang Chen took the cigarette, and Wang Jiaming on the side quickly took out a lighter and lit it. Zhang Chen took a puff of cigarette and said slowly, Boss Liu, the average price of houses on Shimao Road is 6,100 square meters. This building is worth 16.8 million. I have prepared the money. When will we sign the contract? So fast. Liu Kai was stunned at first, then he said with a happy face and kept rubbing his hands, Mr. Zhang is really happy. I will prepare the transfer procedures and sign today. For such a large transaction, we didn't even mention the price, we just signed the contract in full. Rich second generation, this person is definitely a rich second generation, and he is also the kind who is stupid and has a lot of money. Having said that, no one with any sense would buy a house in a place like this. Wait. Just when Liu Kai was about to prepare the contract, a voice came over at an inappropriate time. Zhang Chen looked around and saw two young people in luxurious clothes rushing towards his direction. Behind the two of them was a man in a suit and leather shoes, holding a briefcase, who should be an assistant. Zhang Chen couldn't help but tighten his eyes after seeing the appearance of one of the young men. This person is exactly the second-generation rich man who was slapped in the face with money by him in a bar some time ago. The fate is really wonderful. Zhang Chen never expected to meet enemies here. I heard that this young man came to Nanchang with Chen Yuhao. It seems that Best Group also got the news, so it sent Chen Yuhao to Shimao Road to purchase real estate. After thinking for a while, Zhang Chen figured it out. The visitor was none other than Chen Yuhao, who came after hearing the news. After Chen Yuhao heard that someone on Shimao Road planned to sell the entire building, he hurried over with his people. Unexpectedly, he arrived a step too late and was beaten to the spot by Zhang Chen. The young man who was following Chen Yuhao suddenly turned gloomy after seeing Zhang Chen. Young Master Chen, this is Mr. Zhang who was against you at the Hane bar that day, the young man said through gritted teeth. When Chen Yuhao heard this, his eyes turned gloomy when he looked at Zhang Chen. Boss Liu, I also want to buy this building. Chen Yuhao suppressed the anger in his heart and said to Liu Kai. After learning that Zhang Chen was the person who opposed him in the bar that day, Chen Yuhao had a plan in mind. No matter what, Zhang Chen couldn't buy this building as he wished. This gentleman, Mr. Zhang, is already 160 years old. Liu Kai declined politely. 6,051 square meters, full payment. Chen Yuhao stared at Zhang Chen and said in a deep voice. This. Liu Kai hesitated. It costs more than 500 per square meter. In total, Chen Yuhao's price is 1.4 million more than Zhang Chen. He had not signed a contract with Zhang Chen at this time, so it would be okay even if he regretted it. Sir, Mr. Zhang has already negotiated the price with Boss Liu. Isn't it inappropriate for you to do this? Wang Jiaming looked angry. Once the deal was concluded, his status in Zhang Chen's heart would also rise. I didn't expect that it would happen right away, but in the end, Cheng Yaojin came out. You didn't sign the contract, and you still don't allow us to buy it? If you are a country bumpkin who is reluctant to pay, get out of here and don't be embarrassed here. The young man next to Chen Yuhao sneered at Wang Jiaming. All F***ku. Even the shrewd Wang Jiaming was angered by the ridicule. He rolled up his sleeves and was about to step forward. Old Wang, talking about business is not a fight. Zhang Chen pulled Wang Jiaming back with a sneer on his face. Interesting, want to play malicious competition with me? The house prices on Shimao Road fluctuate around 6,000, so Chen Yuhao directly added 500, making it clear that he wanted to compete with him.